Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Can you get in with Q-tips, or is all?
Yeah, you can get in with Q-tips. So, we took her in again, every 3 months, 3-4 months, we take her in and have her ears looked at, and they do the medicine. And so what happened this past time, they had a new doctor in there. And the new doctor, let me set you up here. So this is all during COVID. So you're not allowed to go inside and actually see the doctor. You drop the dogs off. Someone comes out and gets them from your car. And then you talk to the doctor over the phone or the helper. And the helper goes, and tell me all the problems. And you're sitting there on the phone, making this conversation with whoever. And, her ears need to be done. Make sure you clip her toenails and blah, 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 blah. So when you get the dog back, the doctor calls you over the phone to collect payment and says, okay, everyone was fine. Pookie was fine. Dookie was fine. And then they bring the dogs out. I'm like, all right, cool. I look at the dogs. They didn't even touch the dog's ears. So I'm like, hey, this is why we came here. Oh, we looked at them. Yeah, they need to be checked. They need to have the medicine. We came here for the medicine, and this new doctor had no idea what to do. So, long story short, we went up to a new clinic. I went up to a new clinic the other day and brought the two dogs. I actually walked in. They took the two dogs. We went into just like when you go to normal, and normal, you bring them into the little examination room. I had the two dogs in there, and two vet techs came in and pulled one out and turned around, clipped the nails, had everything, and came back. I was in and out, Dan, within 15-20 minutes, and it was a thorough. For me, they had 3 techs and the doctor working on my two dogs.
So they pulled all the guts out of his ear.
No, they didn't pull the. They said yes. She's got some rods. She's got some streptococci in there. We'll do the Z-Pack on her ears, and then we'll give her some antibiotics. Never once mentioned ripping the ear canal out completely. Oh, this is common for this breed. This is how we like to treat it from the outside and also from the inside. And it's, this is an ongoing. And she told me this will happen all the time. So I was just amazed that, this one doctor, first thing, oh no, we're going to rip her ears out.
Yeah, it must have been something he read online. Saw it on YouTube somewhere.
Who? The doctor?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but it was so frustrating because now my wife and I, we don't have children, but we have fur babies.
These are your children.
These are my children, and we have horses and we have cattle. And for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville, and we sit on about 22 some odd acres, and we have chickens and dogs. What are you doing? Doing a bong hit over there?
Just had some water.
Oh, okay. So, and that was the thing. I was just so upset. And we like the new doctor. Now, granted, first day is always the best. Anything that's better than good is better, right?
Yes.
So.
So the dogs are all fine. That's good news.
Yes, the dogs are all fine. Everyone's good. Now, last Friday, Dan, have you ever done this? I was so hungry Friday night. Now, Friday night's the big night. My wife gets off early from work. She works from home. She has the luxury of working from home. And we spend quality time on Friday night. We play cards together. We listen to, we listen to this podcast. That's a little... all about me.
Quantity time.
Yeah,
yes.
quantity time. And we play cards and stuff. And we have a couple cocktails. And we always go, well, what do you want to eat tonight? Well, I don't know. What do you want to eat tonight? And what do you always do? You either order a pizza or you make something. Poor choices is what you make. Well, the poor choice I made this past Friday was, do you know what a Roger Wood is?
No, I have
Roger Wood hot dogs?
Oh, I'm familiar with hot dogs.
Well, hot dogs, yeah. But Roger Wood makes this almost like kielbasa sausage type hot dog. And it's big. I mean, like a deli hot dog. I mean, it's like 2-3 inches in diameter. Circumference. You figured it out. And it's probably about, good 6-7 inches long. And it's got a nice natural skin, a nice snap to it when you bite into it. Well, if you've ever heated up one of these Roger Woods, and for those of you who don't know, look up rogerwood.com. They have great products. It oozes oil when I heat mine up in the microwave. It's got a grease that comes out of it. And that thing, it's like, you ever had a Hot Pocket, Dan?
Yes, but a long time ago. I had once.
So when you have the Hot Pocket, what's the first thing you do? The center's like molten lava inside. Roger Woods are the same way. And the first bite, now I eat it with a fork and knife. I don't put it in a bun because I can't get my my old teeth through the skin. So I cut it with a fork and knife right out of the microwave, steaming hot, grease and all, right in my mouth, roof of my mouth completely ripped off, burnt.
So that's your idea of quality time.
Well,
Everyone has their thing that they're into. I can understand. Some people like pain.
well, normally when you burn your roof of your mouth, it only lasts, what, a day maybe. You ever burnt the roof of your mouth, Dan?
Yes, I
What's
did
the
it
mo-
recently.
what's
About
the-
a day it lasts.
What's the most common thing that you burn the roof of your mouth on? That you eat right away and you're like, oh my God, I need something. And then all of a sudden it's hot.
Probably if I heat up an apple pie.
Okay, I could see an apple pie. I could see that. Now, a homemade apple pie or from like a quick McDonald's or something like
No,
that?
homemade pies.
Okay.
I like to make my own.
So, and you burn, and how long does the roof of your mouth stay that way, that infected or burned or scarred?
It's usually gone the next day. Usually what I do right away is drink a lot of water right away.
Today is Wednesday. I still, in the back top right hand side of my mouth, I still have my tongue. I can touch it. I can feel it aching. It's still burnt. It's still like I have a scar up there or something. I don't know. I completely melted the roof of my mouth.
My uncle died from that.
Did you really? Oh, well, how's he doing now? Oh, no, he's dead. Sorry. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and dive into the show. We got a lot to get into this week, a lot of stories, a lot of fun stories. We're also going to, Dan is a IT guy. He's great knowledge as far as technical stuff, and we got a little segment called, what did I call it? Oh, Up to Speed with Technology with Dan. So stick around for that as well. And Dan's got a couple stories that's interesting, very interesting for all you tech nerds out there. Stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I can't see the screen now
What screen?
with our picture. Or is that what you want? I'm going to run downstairs for some.
Okay.
You can hear me drinking the water?
Yeah.
I have to stay hydrated since it's not working.
Now, Dan, that's it. You've gone through one bottle. We just went through this the first segment. We got 8 more to go. What am I doing?
Dropping hits, bringing the world hot chimes. Look at the world here high, yep, so sublime. Give me a 9, cause jealous they try to test. Might try to give me so the metal, I caress. Fully auto, I squeeze 3 to the chest. Right there where he ran up, right there where he rests. Never settle for less, so for less I never settle. Put the pedal to the metal, blaze him like a cigarello. So shell shocking, like the boy Donatello. Open him up, make him leak out his red jello. I'm a different fellow, rich city, green thumb. Always online, if you want it, come and get some. We go dumb forever, we go dumb. Bay Area native champion, straight out the slum. I'm a champion boy, running fast, foot on the gas. I'm a champion boy, get cash by the man. I'm a champion boy, always toasting my class. I'm a champion boy, get out of line, I know my man. I'm a champion boy, yeah. I'm a champion boy, yeah. I'm a champion boy.
What we do in my house, all the outdoors are all squeak. and I have it on purpose so I can hear whether someone comes in or out.
Well, we got motion lights and cameras all over the property, so the only thing is the motion light here, that tree's so dangly in front of it, so if the wind blows, the tree triggers it.
Do you need to get it trimmed from?
I do need to trim it up there.
I have one of those long poles.
Do you?
Yeah.
Next time you come over, bring it, because I don't want to climb up the tree.
No. Remember what happened when you were up there raking leaves?
Yeah. You ready? We're going to talk about the heat. Watch the headphones next to the mic. Do you have a pair of headphones at house you want to bring?
No, mine are all mine fall apart.
Oh, okay.
I drop about 6 times a day.
Are those? I got another like just straight cans over there if you want them.
No, these are good. I just got to get used to them.
Okay.
That's how they fold.
Okay. Well, they're meant to fold up and go into a little, a small little. That's my portable set when I do live gigs. All right, here we go.
Compared to this dead gig.
Right. Deadbeat gig. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard? Of course, everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants a voice. And the way you can be part of the show here at Deacon Live is go over to Prophet Radio, Prophet Radio. Click on the little blue bar at the very bottom right-hand side of your screen, whatever, on your tablet, on whatever device that you're searching us on, and click on Be Heard. You got it?
Yep.
Dan's over there having technical issues. You got your headphones on, right?
Just in my head, just adjusting the microphone.
Okay. Click on Be Heard, and you can be part of this podcast or any of the podcasts that we've. You have questions or anything that you want to ask me, or just say, "Hey, love the show, hate the show," whatever the case may be. Click on Be Heard, opens up a microphone, and you can leave a voice message, and it comes right to the podcast. That's the Be Heard section over on Prophet Radio. Now, Dan, you said you were outside messing with your wife's car and putting wires and putting new stereo in there, and you said it was hot as hell.
Yeah, it was hot as hell. It was 90 degrees, but a lot of humidity. It's very humid.
So, very humid. Now, I was born and raised in Florida, and we moved up to this beautiful little town called Marshville, which is just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I think it's hotter here in Marshville, in the Charlotte area, than it is in Florida. And the reason being is Florida's flat, and it's got the sea breezes that come across. Now, it does get humid, but here in North Carolina, we've got mountainous and terrain and a lot more forestry, if that makes sense, to kind of trap the heat so it can't move.
Yeah, and the ocean, the ocean is going to give you a breeze. Even if it's 80 degrees, it's going to feel cool, just the mist in the air.
Now, are you aware of the heat dome that's going on in the Pacific Northwest right now?
Yeah, I have a brother-in-law in San Francisco, and I have relatives that are out in Washington.
Do you really? Have you talked to them since this whole heat index has been going on?
We got a few text messages. The heat's killing them.
Is it literally killing them?
Yeah, they do not have air conditioning. People do not buy air conditioners there because you don't need them. It's 70, 75 degrees is the hottest you get.
Well, in the Pacific Northwest, they're facing record temperatures. Portland and Seattle are among the cities grappling with 100-plus Fahrenheit plus days of typical moderate climate. Oh, of course.
It is way too hot, way hotter than normal.
They're experiencing more temperatures around the 113 to 124 as temperatures increases during this time of the year. The temperatures have driven crowds in regions into beaches, into pools, air-conditioned hotels. The residents in the region, a few air-conditioned households, try to desperately get some relief. Now, when they say, how hot is it? The other day it was so hot, and someone goes,
yes, I saw a dog chasing the cat, and they're both walking.
Well, in Portland, Oregon, streetcars, have you ever been to Portland? That's kind of a weird town, right? Portland streetcar power cables are melting in the extreme heats. And if you're watching this now, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video that goes in tandem with it, so you can see us here in the studios. Hi, we're also on Twitch as well, and you can see us live here in the studio. A Portland streetcar shared an image on June 27, 2021, showing power cables that have melted amidst the extreme heat wave in the Pacific Northwest. It's so hot in Portland, Oregon. How hot is it? That the recent streetcar power cables are melting, bringing transit service to a halt. Look at this right here. Does that look like...
Yeah, it looks like it's melting, but it's, melting is usually 200 degrees. I can't see something melting at 113 degrees. It obviously is, but...
No, what if the actual cable, because of the power and everything going through it, normally at a constant temperature is 115 degrees. And then you add another 100 and something on top, and now you're creating more heat on top of more heat. It's like... The grill with charcoal in it is hot, but on a hot day it feels even hotter.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Okay, so at least you agree with me on that. Portland Streetcar shared the photograph of one damaging cable on the Twitter this past Sunday. The image has quickly become... Oh, come on. This is what happens when you don't pay for ads. The image is quickly becoming a symbol of the anomalous, thank you, Dan, big words, that's why I keep you around, heat wave that is gripping the Pacific Northwest for days. So it's amazing. Look at how big that, and it'll shut the place down. They always say about frying an egg out on the concrete.
Yes, hotter than Georgia asphalt.
Hotter than Georgia asphalt. Now, me personally, so here at the French, and we have the main living quarters is I think 3,400 square feet. Now we have a studio. The studio is above our 3-car garage, and we have a split unit, a mini split unit. So for those of you who don't know it, it's a handler outside, and then you just kind of drill a hole in the wall, and you put the what is this unit called right here, Dan?
This is the. I can't think of it for the life of me
All
right
right.
now.
So, anyways, if you look over, if you're watching the video over my right hand shoulder where it says DeaconLive, there's a handler. Let me see. I gotta figure out where my finger is. Right there.
Yeah, that's your main unit.
That's your main unit, and it blows in and blows nice cold air. Now we had my technician came out here and he checked the main house, and the typical cleaning, because we do not want the AC to break down. Believe me, people, if you can afford it, it's money well spent to have the maintenance done on your AC now before it hits August, and the $120 that you spend now prevents $700 later on in repairs. Dan, do you get your AC fixed on or maintenance?
Every 2 years. I also wash out the fins outside of it. Make sure I change the air filter all the time.
So do you do it yourself, or do you have someone come out and do it?
I wash the fins out, but I have someone that comes by and checks it out, makes sure there's not Freon, and checks the system out.
And do that, and the reason why I say do that is because, go away. If they say, no, everything looks fine, and then like 3 days later something happens, they're on the hook for it. That's the way I would look at it. If the reputable company comes out and says...
Yeah. And last night my wife went up to me and said, it's hot in the bedroom, can you turn the heat down? And the thermostat is about 10 feet away from the bed.
Wait, hold on. She said turn the heat down or turn the AC down?
Turn the AC down. And so thermostat's about 10 feet away on the wall, but I have an app on my phone. It's a Nest. I hit that, and then I can just take it, and it's got a little dial on it, and I moved it down to 69 degrees.
Do you know where they were saying in California? They were saying in California that you're not allowed to have, or is it California or Texas, where you're not allowed to have your AC over 78, and all these people out there that have Nest temperature things, thermostats, that Nest is going in there and physically saying, when you bump it up to 78, if you want to bump it down to like 76, that Nest says no, and it bumps it right back up to 78.
I haven't heard that, but we lived in San Francisco for 2 years. We never even needed air conditioning. It was perfect weather, never too cold, never too hot.
Well, here, back what I was initially starting about is... So the house is about 3,400 square feet, and we had the AC guy come out and look at the AC, and he said everything's fine. And then, the split unit here in the studio, he said basically don't run it on dehumidify. He said run it on the AC. He's like, that's the best thing you can do. That'll eliminate my frosting problem, is what he was talking about. I said, fine, no problem. But it's just my wife and I. And, we have two spare bedrooms, 2 full baths on the opposite side of the house. It's a split floor plan. And my wife and I only stay, kitchen, the theater room, which is right off of the kitchen, and then the hallway connecting our main bedroom to the theater room. So I bought one at Home Depot many years ago. It looks like R2-D2. It's a little small portable AC unit, and it's got a 4-inch corrugated pipe that you can put out the window to exhaust it out.
And you can move from room to room.
And you can move it from room to room. So I created a flange and put it in, windows, what do they call them when the windows go up and down?
It's a double hung or single hung?
It's a double hung because both sides move. So open it up. I made a flange, a nice insulated flange, cut a hole out. I stuck the corrugated tube that vents the AC unit out. And I clicked that thing on. I bumped that thing all the way down to 66.
Does that has a funnel or something to drain the water out?
It's got an evaporator already on it. Okay. So what? No, it does. It's got an evaporator on it, and it was like I think $300 and something. But I will run that. I'll turn that thing on about an hour or two before we go to bed, and that room is nice. And we leave the AC on in the house at 78 or 79 depending on the day, or how much we're in the main part of the house. But usually she's working in the theater room because the back part is our office. And I turn the AC down and it's nice and cool in there, and we're not running the AC. And believe it or not, Dan, our power bill went from, this is last year. Last year we were paying, I think, $270 something a month. But we're on the Duke plan where they average everything out, so you always pay $270, you pay $270, you pay $270. This year, they reevaluated us. Now we're paying $225. So we've saved almost $50 some odd. now just running that little portable AC unit in our bedroom and not having the house cool down as much.
We have a setting on ours called Meat Locker. That's what my wife has it set at. It's about 70 degrees, but you walk in my house, it feels like you're walking into a cooler.
Oh, God. All right, when we come back, we'll dive into a guy's just trying to do his job out there in the heat and delivering packages. You bought stuff from Amazon, right?
Occasionally, like every day.
And they have all these people that work for, they're subcontracted from Amazon. Well, this gentleman right here was just trying to do his job, and one of the homeowners in the area didn't like it and started showing his ass. So stick around. We'll dive into that here when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back.
Your turn.
No.
Oh. It was always nice and cool. I can't believe those cable cars would melt like that.
I think it's more of it looked more like a rub than a melt. A melt to me would be some kind of drippage or sagging or dripping or something like that. That to me does not look like it. Where's it at? That looks like a rub.
Yeah, and I can't see it would have to do everywhere. It would have to do every line everywhere, unless there was something where they had an excessive draw just on that line that heated it up. You know, some electrical problem.
Yeah.
With it.
But yeah, that's kind of. All right, we're doing good. We're staying on time.
That's good. Good news is good news.
Excuse me.
Don't worry, when it dries, it'll all flake right off. So these people are watching the show, dying in the heat, and you're talking about how great your air conditioning is. You're a humanitarian, I think.
Well, you should have said that on the air. You can say it on the air if you want. Oh, while I'm sitting here touching my own penis.
Oh, Kathy and I went to a fireworks show when we were in Hawaii, and actually they had it was a fragrance company was staying in the same hotel, the Royal Hawaiian.
They stink?
And they had a fireworks display that was phenomenal. I think I have a video of it still. It lasted about an hour and a half long, and it was the prettiest fireworks I'd ever seen. And whoever did it was a pro. They'd have a small explosion, and then another explosion, and another one. Each one would get bigger, and it looked like 3D, just the way the effect of it, because it would come towards you and get bigger.
You know, I used to do pyrotechnics at Universal Studios.
Oh,
you know
did?
that?
No, I didn't know that.
We hold on, let me turn. Islands of Adventure. I used to do pyrotechnics, and you know who Lockheed Martin is, right?
Yes.
All right, so you have Universal Studios, and then you have the international, the airport. So halfway in between there was Lockheed Martin. And Lockheed Martin actually had like all these bunkers and stuff where they used to test the Tomahawk engines, and they were literal bunkers. You had to walk down into them. And in Florida, you don't walk into the ground, so they concreted these whole bunkers and stuff. And that's where we used to have all the fireworks. I mean, huge boxes and we'd set them all up depending on the areas that we were firing them off at Universal Studios. Just in case they blew up, we were in a bunker, so it kind of kept everyone contained.
Travis is gone, but everyone else is fine. Yes.
But what we do is the way Universal Studios, remember I said it's set up like a carousel, and they would have all the fireworks. You would sit in the center and watch all the fireworks from all around. What we would do is we'd load them all up. We had a laptop, and literally we'd sit there and program, this, all right, whatever, 2, 4, row A, 1. Then, and then you keep doing all that, and then you just hit play on the laptop, boom, play, and you'd sit back, and you would have to stand on top of, like I stood on top of Spider-Man, and you would do Firewatch, and you'd watch watch everything where it came down, and when you drive around a golf cart with a little fire extinguisher. But yeah, we used to load them. They were all little speaker wires. You wire them all up, and you put them in all the tubes and stuff, and you roll them out into wherever they are, and then you sit there on the laptop, and there were 6 of them. And you sit there and you go, all right, 3, 2, 1, doop, and then everyone hit play at the same
But
time.
they were all wired into a box that was near your laptop, or
Oh, it was it had a
transmitter?
yes,
Okay.
because we would where we had the laptop almost looked like an outhouse with windows on it, or if you were paying toll,
Okay.
and the laptop was in there, and you'd sit there and and you close the laptop and then you shut the door and lock it so no one else could get in there and mess with the laptop or mess with the fireworks.
Okay, but every time you blow it off, you have the transmitter, but you're losing the receiver all the time.
What do you mean?
It's blowing up when you set it off, right? Doesn't it blow up with the fireworks?
No, it all wires into one big box.
Yeah.
So the box is like firing, like it'll send out a signal to that tube over there, and it'll send out a signal to that tube, and that tube, and that tube, and that tube, or all these tubes.
So when the tube where it goes to, though, you're going to have something that catches that signal, because it's not wired, right? It's just
No,
electronically.
the actual, they look like golf.
Explosive, yeah.
Yeah, they look like golf balls or baseball, and they have a wire that comes off of it, and you take that wire and you connect it to that, and somehow it triggered that wire electric spark, and it
Oh,
fired.
so it's physically wired.
Yes.
Okay, I was
physically
thinking,
wired. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I was thinking transmitting like Wi-Fi.
No. It was physically wired. There was an electronic pulse, like my electrical fence type deal.
And then when you could reuse those wires over again, or what's left of them? Or-
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't on that crew. I was the one that set it up. I just know that every time I went out there, they were bright orange wires, and I'm no more than a 16 gauge speaker wire, but they were bright orange and braided or stranded for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I went to buy just a roll of wire, just a small roll of wire spool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you hold in your hand, at Lowe's, and they were like $36, $38, and I go, if I need wire, I'll use speaker wire. I mean, I'm not going to spend that much.
All right.
Okay, so we got Dragon Man coming up.
No, we got the first topic is why do people like you hate people like me?
Okay.
But I'm gonna lead in with where is the story of the healthiest counties?
Up, right at the top. Right there.
Oh, there it is. Yep. I hope it does it.
I accidentally set up some RSS thing. Maybe you have to learn. Is that a video you're gonna watch?
No, it's just a. Here, I'll do this. I'll just search this topic. You ready? Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do. You want something for free? Go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, and we have a whole bunch of sticker packs up there, some magnet packs. I just ordered a whole bunch of hologram Deacon Live stickers. So this is us showing appreciation for you for showing appreciation for us and giving us the time of day, and downloading us and doing all the stuff that you do. And the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on the free swag, and there's a little survey there, so if you want to fill that out as well. Believe me, I'm not going to do anything with your email address. I got too much shit going on. It's too hot out here. I got Dan over here. He's going to trim my trees tomorrow in front of my motion light over there, and over to my far right hand side. Speaking of Dan, is Dan.
Yes. Hey, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
I'm doing much better. Still recovering from yesterday.
Are you? You still? I know you've already gone down like 2 bottles of water already, and we're only at 20 minutes into the show.
You call me an older gentleman. I feel my age. I feel 67 now. Most of the time, I feel like I'm 40. I'm out doing stuff.
Right.
It just yesterday took a toll on me. Bending, twisting, contorting, all the stuff I used to do in the circus.
Backflips.
Yes.
Now, do you consider yourself a healthy individual?
Yeah, I do.
Now, what makes you determine that you feel that you're a healthy individual, I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh, I have a pulse. I breathe. I'm just, like 5 pounds overweight.
Just 5 pounds?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Now, I don't know if you could tell, Dan, I have lost some weight.
Yes. And pretty soon we'll be putting you in the shoebox.
Right.
Yeah.
But, go ahead.
I was just going to say, those enema kits really do work.
Enema kits? What enema kits? I don't do those
okay.
anymore.
Don't do any less.
Right. So, they do a survey of the top 10 places that people would love to live and top 10 places that have the worst drivers and the top whatever of this. And there's always something for, you attach a monogram to it and they'll do a top 10 with it. Now, what they actually have done is the top healthiest countries, county for being the healthiest in the United States. So a lot of times you want to have the most sunshine, you go to Florida. If you want to have the best weather, you go to whatever. This same county tops the healthiest U.S. community ranking for the second year in a row. Now, located 40 miles from Santa Fe, this county is home to canyons, mesas, connected by 58 miles of trails, networking 13 developed public parks, expansive golf courses, a community of over 19,000 people, scores the highest housing population, and in health and infrastructure categories, according to the annual U.S. News and World Report Healthiest Communities ranking this past Tuesday. The first community to take number one spot twice since 1918, according to the report. The place is called...
No, since 2018.
What did I say?
1918.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's close. Just 1 century off.
I know. Since 2018, I'll edit that out. Known for its vast, breathtaking mountain ranges, Los Alamos. Is that, how do you say that?
Los Alamos.
Los Alamos? Is that right?
Yeah. Los Alamos County.
Ranked among the best communities for factors such as low COVID-19 cases, citizen income, employment, education achievements. However, the county has 4 runners-up. Douglas County, Colorado, Falls Church, Virginia, Loudoun County in Virginia, and San Miguel County in Colorado. All scored below average, the subcategory of equal. Anyways, so there you go. If you want to live in the healthiest county, you go to, what is it, Los
Alamos County.
And where is Los Alamos County?
That's in New Mexico.
Is it? You ever been there? You ever been to New Mexico?
No. I've never been there. I have no desire really either. I'd like to go to Colorado as one state I've never been. I'd like to go to.
Now, this gentleman right here was he's out there and delivering. He's doing his job. Now, here in what they call a gig society, you know what a gig society is, right? Yes. So that, for those of you who don't know, if you are willing to work and on your own time, you can find a job. And what I mean is you can sign up for DoorDash, you can sign up to be an Uber driver, you can sign up to be whatever, one of those many things. One of the things that Amazon does is Amazon will hire you to deliver their packages. You go to their big hub, you pick up the packages for whatever assigned area that you have, and you deliver those packages. Now, this gentleman here is riding on his bicycle, and he's got like a basket, like the old grandma, the Wicked Witch of the East, the basket on the front, and he's got all these packages that he's delivering in this small condominium complex community.
It sounds like someone who's trying to better himself really may not have enough money for a second car, and
or just because of his location, it's probably easier for him to ride a bicycle to get around town rather than have an actual vehicle to get around town.
That could also be true.
All right, so this gentleman here confronted him, and this is in San Francisco. This gentleman, white guy, is confronting this black gentleman. I'm going to assume he's black. I see his hands once or twice in the video. I'm assuming he's black, and this guy is asking him, What are you doing here? What are you doing here? And to see this video, you go to profitradio.com, click on DeaconLive, and for every podcast, we do have a matching video as well. And it's a little long, so I'll kind of cut through some of the stuff, but here's the start of it, and give me your opinion on it as well. So the guy, the video starts, it's a white guy, he's got jeans on, long sleeve shirt with his sleeves pulled up a little bit, and he starts putting on his mask again. So obviously this is a time where he's still worried about the COVID-19. So here he
Please
goes.
get out of my face. Put your mask on. There you go.
I'm outside. I don't need a mask.
What the fuck do you want?
I want identification. Who are you?
Who
with?
the fuck are you? Why do you think that I have to answer your fucking questions? Why do you think that I have to answer your questions?
So he
dude?
reaches in his pocket and gets out his phone and starts
It's
videotaping.
none of your business.
So now it's a videotape off.
It's none of your business. Get out of my way.
Who are those addressed?
Don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing. Get out of my face. Every time I come around here, motherfuckers like you make my job harder. Please get out of my face, dude.
But you haven't identified yourself.
That's none of your business. Why do I have to get? Why do you think that I have to identify myself?
Now
Bro, you ain't saying nothing. You ain't.
Now I don't know if my delivery driver. I know it's a woman, and she comes with like an old Buick Skylark or something and drops off packages. And if it's heavy, sometimes I know we get dog food and things. I'll go out there and help her because the motion triggers. I see her car out there. I'll go, hold on. She's like, it's in here somewhere, darling. I'll get it for you. I'm like, no, I'll help you. So she drops it off and she goes on about her day. And I don't know if she's got a badge on. I can't remember, but she's got a scanner. She's got a portable scanner like you would have at Home Depot when you're scanning prices and things.
Seeing nothing. Don't worry about who I'm with. It's none of your business.
Who are the boxes addressed to?
Yeah, this guy is really out of his element.
What's your name? Let's see some identification. What's your name? What's your address?
So this is the funny part.
Yeah, that's right.
See his hand
What's
shaking?
your name? What's your name, buddy?
John.
John what?
That's all you get.
John what? John what? You come over here asking for identification? John what? I don't give a fuck. Fuck you and your missing packages.
So it goes on and on.
Good for you. You heard about the Karen Act, right? So good luck with that. What's your last name, John? Hey, John, what's your last name?
So the video goes on and on.
Now. You should call him. For what? Tell me what you're calling him for. Oh, now it's harassment. Before, it was because I was walking down the street. Now I'm harassing you? Didn't you call for me from that fucking window right there? Didn't you call for me? I was across the street. You called out to me. I didn't come over here looking for you.
Don't harass me, okay?
Hey, nah. Call the cops. Call the cops, please. Please, call the cops.
So now he doesn't know what to do because the guy's calling him out. He's calling him out.
Yeah, the police won't come in San Francisco unless it's a murder or a robbery.
Right.
Opened up a fucking newspaper? Can you not look around and see what the fuck is going on because of this bullshit right here? Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, man. And now, motherfuckers like me, got little fucking handhold recording devices in our pockets. So bullshit assholes like you can't get away with the bullshit you be pulling anymore. So go ahead, call the fucking cops. Call the fucking cops, man. You already said you're gonna call them, right? I'm not evading. I'm not leaving the scene of a crime. That's what you said you're gonna do, right?
He's just trying to
call the
deliver his
cops.
packages.
It's none of your business. You shouldn't have fucking stepped on my toes in the first place. And a younger me would have beat your fucking ass, but I'm not gonna do that. Call the cops. Call the cops.
It's smart. This gentleman has every right to sit there and argue with this guy. He's trying to deliver packages in his neighborhood, and that's his job. He's got all these little houses. He even says further on in the video, it's people like you that hate people like me that make this world a horrible place. And he gets all these packages because he knows there are like maybe 10, 20 units in this little development there.
Well, that's just a regular street in San Francisco. That's not development.
Well, if you watch the video, here, let me see if I can. He's got a little better picture here. But see, all these little houses, it's all concrete. They're beautiful little. They're not houses. They're condominiums, but they're fancy condominiums.
Yeah, and they will have 6 or 7 houses put together. Each
Right.
person makes the front of the house separate.
Right.
Did you call the cops? Did you call the cops?
I haven't yet. I'm sorry.
Are you
I'm
gonna
a
call him?
pussy.
Fuck out of my face, man. You fucking clown.
He is.
Dear Pack Heights. Hey, everybody. I'm not here to steal shit.
So he's making an announcement to everyone in the little area there. Dear Park Heights, I'm not here to steal shit. I'm here to give you your goddamn packages. And it's so sad that this guy, what was this white guy thinking? Is he thinking that he's going to be I'm going to save the neighborhood because this black guy is driving around in the neighborhood on a bicycle with packages. He's thinking that he's a porch pirate.
And what's going to happen is this goes viral, and that guy loses his job at his computer business or at his insurance company, wherever he's working.
Oh, yeah.
He loses his job. But the thing I don't see is you're an employee for Amazon. You should not be. He should have watched his language.
No, he's not. He's not an employee for Amazon. He's contracted out. So if you work for, let's say, for example, Home Depot, you can't be walking around in the store smoking cigarettes. But our delivery drivers sometimes are subcontracted out. They can walk around and smoke cigarettes or do any of that stuff.
Oh yes, but the delivery driver, you still are an agent for the company, and you shouldn't be using that kind of language.
Well, language. I mean, you're splitting hairs here as far as what you're nailing the guy for. The guy was defending himself. Because this white guy came up to him and approached him and said, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm doing my fucking job. Why don't you piss off? I'm doing my..." Well, who are these packages for? What do you mean, who are these packages for? It's for the people in this area.
Oh, everything was right, but if he had... I can see Amazon doing something for him, that's all.
No. If Amazon tells this guy, "Well, look, you can't do this anymore. We had a complaint about you." And he's going to go, "Okay, here's the complaint. Here's the other side of the complaint." He's going to show them this video. Now, I know people at Amazon that work subcontracted with Amazon. They have a deadline. They have a metrics that they have to hit. They have to deliver so many packages within so many miles. I know of people that have worked for Amazon and have lost their job because their car that they were using to transport their packages and everything was in the shop that day, or had to get an oil change, or blew a tire. So their metrics went from you have to deliver like 16 packages per hour, went down to like 3 packages per hour. So Amazon's like going, "Hey, even though you're freelancing yourself, we do have a deadline to make. These packages have to be out." So these things do happen. So the metrics. People are losing their job because of just the metrics alone. This guy's trying to get his metrics. He's trying to deliver his shit.
Yeah. And there's more of it. That's not an isolated incident.
It is not an isolated incident. But I just wanted to show you. It's sad that people... I mean, he thought he was... The white guy thought he was doing good. What are you doing in my neighborhood? And he was saying, "All right, well, piss off there."
Yeah, the white guy needs to get a life.
All right. Speaking of getting life, watch out for this venomous snake that's in your area. What area is it? Well, I'll get into that when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I think the guy, the delivery guy, could have done it without the profanity, and then I'd say he's 100% in the right. That's all.
But think about when you say profanity, and I hate to pull a race card on this, but think about he's literally trying to do right. He's trying to, like you said, get a job, work, do his thing, put food on the table, and even still, with him doing all that, he's still getting harassed by John Whitey. "What are you doing in my neighborhood?" "Man, fuck you. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to do right. I'm trying to put food on the table. I'm trying to, get my kid out of daycare and all that stuff." And
I don't think you and I could ever understand what people are going through. We can't. It would be like trying to tell what it feels like to be pregnant. We just couldn't.
Fashion over, you ain't no employee, you more like the owner, you keep to yourself cause you more like a loner. Let's go on a date, girl, I hope I ain't late. Friends think I'm a dog, just let them hate. Your life is real rough, got a lot on your plate. When burdens got heavy, you carry that weight. No, you think we're ready, I think we should wait. No fussing or fighting, no need to debate. Sometimes I get nervous, girl, I hesitate. See, baby, you can really be my wife to be. Always got you by my side like you attached to me. World had me feeling shy, girl, you set me free. Only girl I really want in my life is she.
You hear that? You hear that in the background?
No. Is he mowing his lawn?
Every fucking Wednesday, and I had it perfect. I had it pinned perfect to where he would mow it in the morning, and I'd do the podcast that afternoon. Nope. All right. All right, we are still on schedule, so we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Ooh, it's San Rafael, California, which is north of San Francisco. Deer Park, no, that's Deer Park Apartments.
Yeah. Okay, and we'll talk about the Walmart insulin.
I think the Healthy County was kind of boring.
Well, I had a full article about it,
Yeah,
but it's just one of those.
they disappear on you.
Well, it's not that.
Yeah.
I know the healthiest, but it's just something small. It's a 2-minute segment just to eat up 2 minutes of time. It should have eaten up at least 3 or 4 minutes because I stretched the other one out.
Okay. I do see where we have these things. You have the link, and then all of a sudden the page is gone.
Yeah.
They do that.
I'm going to talk about the Walmart insulin, and you said you had something to...
Oh yes.
All right, so save it. And... I was doing a lot of these things on my phone. Here it is. And it, on my phone, when I set it to myself, it automatically does this instead of me putting the title in there.
Yeah, the phones are different creatures.
Because normally I'll put something in the subject so I know what the thing's about. But I was sitting in the vet's office and I was doing research. I'm like, oh, it's fucking Tuesday. I still got to pull a fucking article. So I was doing it, and it was filling everything in for me. All right. What are you doing?
Sending an email to remind me to get the pole saw next week.
Oh, okay.
It's Arbor Day, right? That's the only day I cut trees on Arbor Day.
I stopped the streaming because it's skipping all over the place. And I forgot to hit right here, start record. So I missed like the first 2 minutes of the podcast.
We can do it over. Or you?
No.
You do it.
I'll let it go. I'll let it slide. I won't beat myself up over it. You all right? Got your hair fixed? You good to go?
Yes. I'm surprised I didn't fall asleep. I get probably the worst night's sleep, except when you're, when you just sleep for like 20 minutes, you wake up and it just, it aches. We're talking about our bed, and Kathy goes, I hate coming to bed because, and we paid $4,000 for this mattress. It's got the
Hold on.
bed.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, and you can see all the links that links us to you and you to us as well. Over to my far right-hand side is Dan. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Well,
feeling better.
You said you were feeling a little tired. Why are you tired?
Oh, I did not get much sleep last night.
Why? What's wrong with you sleeping?
After putting my car stereo in, bending and twisting and turning, every part of my body aches except my right eyebrow.
You just said you were healthy. You thought you were a healthy person, and
that
now
was
you're
before
saying that.
yesterday. It fell off a cliff. Today's I feel my age today. Tomorrow I'll be back to feeling 10 years younger.
Now, what kind of mattress do you have? Do you sleep on a good mattress, or every 10? What do they say? Every 10 years is supposed to change the mattress out.
We got a mattress from Mattress Firm. We went down and laid on all the different mattresses. This one feels great, and we've had it about 3 years. Halfway through the payments on it, and it hurts. I get up in the morning, my back hurts, it aches, and I get out of bed early just because it aches. Otherwise, I'd be sleeping later.
Now, one of our proud sponsors here at Deacon Live is the Purple Mattress. Do you know what Purple Mattress is? Have you seen that before? Commercial?
No, I have not.
Do me a favor. Go to profitradio.com. Click on the purple icon there. And you can see all the videos and everything. I have a Purple Mattress. I have I think the 2-inch with the whole mattress and everything. What do? You got your laptop over there. You can go to the Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the little purple mattress there, and you can see all the videos and stuff. And I love it. Amy loves it too. It doesn't, it's one of those manufactured. There's no springs. There's no coils. It's just foam and this weird space rubber that's in there. And the bed does not get hot at all. It's nice and cool. It's nice and supporting. I was having bad problems with my back. And this thing literally cradles you. And the most incredible thing was they show the video of a plate glass with eggs attached to it, raw eggs, and they were dropping it on the bed, and the eggs were not cracking. And they say, oh, they're not real eggs. And at the end of the video, they literally lift it back up and go crack, crack, crack. And it's amazing. So
I will have to check that. I don't do it now. I don't want to get fired for browsing on company time.
Okay. Speaking of browsing on company time, Walmart is now taking insulin. Insulin, diabetes is running rapid through the whole United States. Everyone's overweight. Everyone's not eating right, except for the one county, Los Alamos. Is that right?
Yes, you got it right.
Did I? Thank you. I tried. I studied very hard. Walmart now is unveiling a new low price in insulin as more patients with diabetes are struggling to pay for it. Now, who was the pharma douche guy? The one that said, I'm going to make insulin $3,000 for whatever per vial. There was a guy who was like 26, 27 years old. He was a billionaire already and bought a company that made insulin and said, I'm taking it from $500 for a vial to $3,000 for a vial.
I do remember that a couple of years ago. I have to tell you, my mother is diabetic, my sister's diabetic, and my mother's diabetic. Medicaid has what's called a donut. That means they'll pay for a certain amount that they pay. Then you get a spot where you pay, and then after you've spent $1 million, they'll pay after that.
Isn't it crazy?
And it's something people need. They need that to survive. And it was costing her $500 or $600 a month for insulin, and it's just insane.
Well, Walmart right now is stepping up, and Walmart will start to sell a less expensive version of the analog insulin to people who do not have health insurance or struggle to afford the drug's cost. The company made a bigger push into the healthcare as it tries to leverage as a massive reach for new opportunities. It has also sought to bring everyday low price, quote unquote, everyday low price to the medical care by opening up primary care clinics and acquiring the telehealth company.
And Walmart has had the pharmacies. They've been into that. And now Amazon's getting into it. So I think this may be a way of combating Amazon.
Well, I mean, not only that, but you're taking the power out of these corporations, these drug companies. So, for example, hear me out. So everyone says, oh, Walmart's a town killer. Walmart's a, mom and pop town killer. So Walmart goes in there, and I'm Tom, and I make broom handles. I make brooms, little brooms, handheld brooms. And Walmart says, I will buy, how much do you sell on a normal basis? I sell about 1,000 a year. Well, I will buy 1,000 a week if you can make the price 78 cents per unit for me, and I'll turn around and sell them for $3. And, I'm making the brooms, and I'm like, well, it costs me $1.78 to make the brooms, and you're going to buy, he's like, and Walmart will go, okay, figure it out, how to make this cheaper, and then we'll buy it from you. But that's what they do. They have the power of buying. They've got so much power. Amazon's the same way. So now is Walmart getting into a better medical, like they have the power of saying, look, we'll buy your insulin, instead of, the doctors and everything prescribing it, just go down to Walmart and go get your insulin.
Yeah, it's a business deal. Walmart's in it for the money, but they save people a lot of money on a lot of products. And, I, for one, when I go to Walmart, you get a clean store, it's stocked well, the employees are helpful. I mean, I think Walmart's doing it right. I like Walmart because I pinch every penny I can possibly pinch.
And my wife goes, well, let's just go up to Food Lion. I go, yeah, if I go to Food Lion and they don't have, what if I need, for example, the other day I needed, what did I had to get? Oh, I had to get just something stupid to hold the friggin' spatulas and stuff on the stove. You know, all your little cookware, like your spatulas and your little spoons and stuff, the big serving spoons. I needed something small like that. Well, Food Lion's not going to have it, so where do I have to go? Walmart.
You go to Walmart.
I go to Walmart, and then while I'm at Walmart, might as well do some shopping as well. Everything's there. It's a one-stop shop.
And I think it works good. And I think Amazon has the same business model where they squeeze every penny out of the sellers.
Right, but and they don't have a brick and mortar store per se.
Wait till next week.
Yeah.
So what's going on in North Carolina?
Well, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And we broadcast on 22 some odd acres here. We have an 800 square foot studio above a 3-car garage. We're fully enclosed, insulated. Dan, you have to admit that AC, that split unit up there is nice and cool, right? What's it say up there? I think it says
74 degrees.
74 degrees, and it feels every bit of 74, doesn't it?
Yes, it's 4 degrees warmer in my house. I'm dying.
Now, residents in one Raleigh, North Carolina neighborhood woke up on Tuesday with the news that a zebra cobra snake was on the loose. A zebra cobra snake is not indigenous to the state. In fact, not even indigenous to this country. Zebra cobra snakes originate from Africa, according to Africa Snakebite Institute. The snake usually is shy and will choose to escape. Although, if it's cornered, what will it do? It will bite. It will bite, or
it will bite you. It will do that. Or spit.
It's a venomous. Its venom can cause tissue damage or even death, according to the Institute. So over in Raleigh, North Carolina, I guess this snake has gotten out. Residents told the neighborhood told us that they had no clue one of their neighbors was keeping a zebra cobra as a pet. They said they were especially concerned with their children and pet. Now, for the most part, Raleigh, North Carolina, you ever been to Raleigh?
Yes. In fact, I drove there just for a sandwich, 82 miles from my house one way for a sandwich at Hibernian's Pub, and it was worth the trip.
Was it? Now, so Raleigh's our state capital, but one snake is out and it's roaming around. Are you scared about it, Dan? What if I said I got a snake out there somewhere?
Well, my wife's the one afraid of snakes. She always tells me when we go outside mowing the lawn, watch out for snakes. And I go, I'm on the mower. You know, they're not going to bother me. But we have a sign outside our development, and some guy has an ad, say, get rid of your snakes, and he has his phone number there. And he goes, my wife went up to me the other day and said, do you think that he's killing snakes in other places and bring them here just to drum up business and to leave snakes around our area? I said, no, I don't think so.
So, I mean, but that's kind of shady. It's very shady if he was doing that.
Well, no, he's not. My wife she comes up with these ideas in her head.
Well, I know to get rid of snakes. When I was working for Home Depot, they'd always come in and ask for a snake NIMBY or something like that. Not in my backyard. Was a granule thing that would sprinkle like in your flower beds and stuff. And all it was sulfur. It was ground up sulfur. And I would tell people, just get some sulfur tablets and stuff and just kind of put it in your gardens and stuff. Oh, I came home one day and the snake was sitting up on my bushes. He was just out there sunning. Yeah, because you know what he's doing? He's trying to gather heat to hunt that night.
Yeah, and I mean, I stay away from snakes. They stay away from me. That's the deal.
So anyways, there's a snake loose and there's a snake in my boot. There's a snake loose in Raleigh, North Carolina, king cobra snake. And I guess they're pretty dangerous, but there's only one. It's only one. One got out. So I don't know how he got it here. The story or the article doesn't dive into that. Now, diving into something spectacular, we're going to take a short little break here. We got a new segment on the show, and Dan is a IT guy for the most part. I mean, what's your background as far as IT? How did you become as smart and so knowledgeable as far as like helping me here in the studio and getting everything set up for me? I just hit the buttons. Dan hooks everything up for me. I just hit the buttons. Hit this one when you want to do that, and hit that when you want to do that.
Well, I started working in 1998 for a computer store, and just started as an apprentice. putting computers together, and I watched the other people, and I had a desire to learn. And I worked there for 3 years, learned as much as I could about computers, and it's like riding a bicycle. Once you learn how to ride a bicycle, you can learn to ride a motorcycle, and you just keep learning and reading and trial and error. And I do a lot of research on it, and I've been fixing computers right now for, from Windows 95 to 98 to Millennium to XP to Windows 10, and now we got Windows 11's coming out.
And you're going to tell us about Windows 11 as well when we come back. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure we're still on the same page. All right, you're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll get him trained. It's only his second day here on the job, so I'll get him trained here. So don't worry, guys. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
You didn't have a question mark over your head when you asked that.
No, I didn't.
I thought it was a statement.
It's always a question, Dan. Always a question.
So this purple mattress, does it go on top of your regular mattress?
There are a couple different types.
Yeah, I had one. Ours was a hybrid and stuff, and it was, it does this, it does that, and I just die laying on the bed.
Yeah, we've had this one for probably 5 years now, and I still love it. I love it. It was like $3,500, but we're somewhere around $3,200.
And we, because Kathy's not feeling well and a breathing problem, let's get the one, ours, it has the control and you can move up and have your feet up and your head up, and she uses it about once a year. My neighbor behind us used to catch snakes. Kathy goes, there's a snake. He'd come over with a rake, and you just drop it on top of the rake and then kill it.
Well, that's not good.
Everything seemed good today?
Oh yeah. What do you mean?
No, everything's going smooth.
Oh God, yeah. I'm really. I was excited about this show. I was telling Amy. I pulled all the articles and stuff, and I'm like going, babe. She's like, how many? Like you said, how many advertisers you got? I go, I got 18. She's like, well, how are you gonna do that? I go, well, I gotta do shorter segments. I gotta do shorter segments with a lot more information and to make it interesting to flow in between the two.
And people have short attention spans. I think they like shorter segments, 2 or 3. I find people that you talk to somebody and after 3 minutes they're over.
Well, yeah, and that's what I want. I want the quickness, and this is working out good because we're doing shorter segments. There's a lot of information that we cram into these, and that's why I said I got to get you trained a little bit more to be a little bit more quicker as far as like, you always have to have something that I'm always going to go to you. So don't. I looked over one time. You're like this. You're like, what?
Yeah. Well, I'm watching you, what you're doing, but it's like you're talking to me about, like they say, it's harder than, and I had to. Okay. He's really put me on the spot here. I had to come up with one of those harder ones.
Right. Watch the mic when you do that.
I don't like Red Robin. We went there once. It wasn't good.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget all the bands that you hear here on Deacon Live. I got to figure out a better way to say that. All the bands that you listen to during our breaks here at Deacon Live. That sounds a little bit better, right?
Yeah, that sounds much
better.
All
right, thank you. All the bands that you listen to here on Deacon Live are independent artists, and they've supported us. They have our support. We're showing support for them, and make sure you show them some love and support as well. And the way you do that is go over to prophetradio.com and click on every band that is played here on the air. I got to figure out a better way to say that. Every band that's played here on the air, you can find their little information. A lot of them have videos. They've got new songs coming out. These bands, the production value on most of these bands, and Dan, you've found out a lot of bands that you've never heard of before, and you kind of did a little bit more research, and you like bought their albums and everything.
Yeah, and they do seem to be pretty good. They're some pretty talented.
Yeah, a lot of great talent here on Deacon Live in between the breaks. Now, speaking of talent and speaking of in between the breaks, we have a new little segment here, and this segment is called Up to Speed with Technology with Dan.
Well, thank you. I want to let you right now, Windows 11. Right now, Windows is just announced they have Windows 11 will be coming out this fall around Christmas time. It's going to be having a lot of different layouts. It's going to have different desktops, so you can have a desktop at home, desktop at work.
Now, why do they come out with Windows 10, Windows 11? What's the reason behind that? Instead of doing like an iOS update?
Well, a lot of people want to see something new, and they want to keep up to date with Apple's also. Apple has new operating systems. They want new features. They can get to sell new computers with a new operating system. Something fresh and something different for people. They get stagnant with the same operating system.
Yeah, but isn't it just an update? Does Apple say I've got Apple 10 or Apple 5? Other than the phone themselves, is the operating system iOS 14, iOS 15, iOS 16, or is it just always operating system?
No, this will be different. When they go from Windows 10 to 11, it's going to be a whole new system.
Hold on a sec. Clear your throat a little bit. Okay.
Windows 11 is going to be a whole new system. It's going to integrate chat, the taskbar. It's going to make it so users can instantly connect by text, chat, voice, or video with their personal contacts, whether it's Windows, Android, or iOS. They can have new teams. They can have DirectX 12 Ultimatum.
Is this a good thing or a bad thing for Windows 11? And when is it coming out? I'm sorry?
It should be out the holiday season.
Which holiday?
This holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas time.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was a certain holiday that was coming out.
No, Easter Tuesday, yes. They're having Windows 11, and there is some confusion on whether your computer you have is eligible for it. And what the marketing department says one thing, and what the engineer says another, and all the tech people looking at it now, and they go, it's so confusing. We don't know if my computer is capable for Windows 11 or not.
We were so worried about Y2K, but I think the Windows updates are more of a pain in the ass than the Y2K thing that happened. You went from, the odometer doesn't roll over on your thing for your computer, but yet you go from, what was it, XP to XP Professional to Windows what?
From XP to Windows 7.
And then on and on, but and a lot of stuff won't work, and there's a lot of programs out there that I know will drop off. Oh, we're not supported by Windows 11. Wait while we make a patch for it.
Yeah, I think there's mostly problems with drivers, with printers, and devices is the biggest problem there. When I worked at the computer store, we were coming up on Y2K, and everybody was going through a business's computer, charging $5,000 to make sure it was all Y2K ready. My boss said, I'm not going to do a damn thing. I'm not going to steal people's money. And Y2K came, nothing happened. And he's got loyal customers, and he got customers that left other places because he said, nothing's going to happen. It's going to work fine.
So are we worried about Windows 11, or we're good with the Windows 11?
Windows 11 should be fine. Shouldn't be an issue at all.
All right, what else you got?
We also have a problem right now that I was going to tell you one thing. Alexa has a show mode that's available for all your Windows PCs in the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Germany, Australia, and it just needs a microphone to work. You can download the Alexa app on your PC from the Windows Store, and you can use it as a show. If you ever use Alexa Show gives you more
everyone's
features.
Alexa that's playing this or in their homes right now is going off the rails. Every time you say Alexa, it's listening. I have an Alexa Show. My wife bought it for me from Amazon, and she got it on like one of those Prime deals. I think it was like $50 for it, but it's awesome. We have it in the kitchen.
Yeah, we have 4 Alexas, but now you can take your old tablet, or if you have a computer and you're not using it, you can just turn on the app and you can use it as a show, and you can use it to check the weather, or you can talk to people,
So-
other Alexa users.
So what's the difference between taking your tablet and turning it into a show, and just turning on your tablet and just going to whatever weather report or anything like that? What's the advantage, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I think the advantage is you can be across the room, and instead of going over and typing in what's today's weather, you can just yell, "Hey Alexa, what time is it?"
What else do you have?
Oh, we have another thing. The Peloton cycling, that's exercise, which I think everyone should be warned right now. Exercise is no good for you.
It is not.
No.
Unless you live in Los Alamos.
Yes. And the Peloton users are now being warned about a new security threat relating to the touchscreen on their Bike Plus that could be potentially controlled by hackers.
Now, we had an article a few weeks back, and you guys can listen to this. Go to DeaconLive and on iHeartRadio or wherever you download podcasts, where the Peloton treadmill actually was spinning, and the child got sucked up underneath it, and that was a total safety violation. So you mean there's more Peloton trouble?
More bad news. Sell your Peloton stock, and just bad news. And they said that hackers can get into it, but they would have to use a USB drive. So it's probably not going to be a security issue in your house. It would be if you're at a hotel or a gym, and somebody could put a USB drive. They could use the camera and microphone. They could, if you happen to go on Netflix or anything when you're using the Peloton, they could get your passwords.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what's the advantage of hacking a Peloton other than looking at you sweating on the camera? You know, oh man, 10 more minutes, Tracy, let's go.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing, and it's kind of a lighthearted security thing.
Yeah,
rather than ransomware or something.
Right. So you're watching Netflix on your Peloton, and someone gets your password. I mean, it's easy. Not for nothing. We have Disney Plus, and we don't pay for Disney Plus. Her nieces have Disney Plus, and when they were over here, they can we put our Disney Plus on your TV? Sure, you can. You can, and all they're gonna do if they get your password and stuff, they're just gonna watch Netflix on their end. I mean, what kind of hackers getting into the Peloton and watching what free Netflix? Is that the whole thing about hacking in there?
Yeah, I do not know why they've done that, and I am, of all the security problems you have, I think this is one to kind of chuckle at.
Well, if you have any security problems or any kind of technical information, make sure you email me, deacon@profitradio.com at any time with questions and stuff. We'll take them live on the air for Dan. And Dan, he's a wealth of knowledge, and I see this little bit here going further and further. I know there's a lot of people out there that have technical information or technical questions about their laptops and everything. You can email me at any time at deacon@profitradio. Put in the subject line, IT Dan, and we'll get those questions on the air. When we come back, Dan, we are part of the human race, I'm assuming, right? You and I are both part of the human race.
Speak for yourself.
Right. And we've seen, as growing up in school and stuff, we've seen the from Neanderthals to humans. We've seen the from monkeys, and if you believe evolution and stuff, they found a new link. Not a missing link, but a new link.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
So when we come back, we'll dive into that and explain all that here on Deacon Live. Stick around. We'll be right back after this.
I think I could have done that better.
No, that's fine. You're fine. It was the first time. What I do recommend, I know I'm the worst at it, but I try to read it like I'm not reading it. I try to say it like I'm not reading it. You know what I'm saying?
And I was doing what I think I need to do is just put bullet points to cover. Because once I read something, Kathy will go up to me sometimes and she goes, "Are you reading this?" And I read it, but I don't read every word. I read what's important, and you pop it out. But I think if I said something and just had the points to, just had 6 points to say about it, then I could say that better than trying to read it. I think that's for me. But everybody learns things differently, and
Everybody does learn things differently.
and everybody says them differently.
Okay.
But I think I'm better like an outline form, and I got to hit this point and that point, and then having read it, I can do that.
Yeah, because when you were going down, it's going to be in Australia, Japan, and I'm like going, who fucking cares about that?
I was saying that as I was reading it. Yeah, so you're right. So. And I'll say at the same time, you'll be reading something, and it goes, he obviously doesn't care about this.
Exactly.
And people know. So we got to get that. But I'll be right back.
All right.
I was asking if your air conditioning had a funnel in it, not for condensation. For
Oh.
That's.
Yeah, clear your throat. And that's my fault for
Having me.
when I was doing this.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell you that I was going to put a theme song. I was going to cut Mr. Roboto. Arigato. I was going to cut it up and loop it and then have a music bed underneath you. But I needed the silence, like a hard silence.
Okay.
And that's my fault.
Okay.
Because when I said, all right, and here's Dan with... And I was
okay.
like, wait.
Oh, okay. That's
so
right.
I can have a small little space so I can play a little segment and then...
Okay, now I know what that signal meant for. It's all, what's the word for it? Practice and...
Right. All right.
And if I have more time to look up articles, I'm going to try to find stuff that aren't too technical, but let people know about different...
I thought those 3 articles were great.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Yeah.
Now, if you find something like someone comes out with a robot toy, anything technical, it doesn't have to be computers, anything technical. Like you were talking about the speaker thing that one time.
Yeah, and my...
which I think is hooey, but...
Pussy, yeah. I want to get one. I want to get that because that will maybe make me want to play games more.
No.
And what I have to do is, how it works, I have to say, Kathy, she wants to get a bench that goes around the tree. We have the tree and the bench sits around the circle that no one will ever sit on. She wants me to get that in our yard. And I said, look, I'll get that for you if you let me get this vest. So,
How much is the vest?
$4.99 for that.
That's it?
Yeah.
These right here, well, I got them from JBL. They were free. These are $200. These JBLs.
Yeah.
But I can put my phone here and walk almost down to the barn before they start cutting out.
Yeah, the headphones cut out earlier for me. I have the 3M ones that I wear. I got them for the wood shop, but I wear them when I'm mowing the lawn. When I walk to my brother-in-law's house, that's why I have them on when you hear me huffing and puffing up the road.
All right, don't milk me. Don't milk me. We're going to talk about the cows a little bit.
Yeah, the vest is $499.
All right. This is the daily news. I'll probably have all these pop-ups all over the fucking place. So give me a sec while we kind of burn through it. Ready? Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
What's that?
Motion at the side door.
The dog's being let out.
Probably. Good call, Dan.
Or a home invasion, one or the other.
Well, you know what's funny? This one lady she's from Sweden. I mean, she literally, oh, you have eggs for me? I said, anytime the red or blue truck is here, I'm here. She's like, sometimes I come by, nobody answers the door. I'm like, yeah, you see the red truck, you see the blue truck, I'm always here. My wife will leave all day long, but if you see both trucks, and then of course, like 2 weeks later, I sell you the truck. So I'm like, I felt bad. I have her son's number up there. I'm like, I should tell her. But she would buy like 6 or 7 dozen from me at given time. So
I'm 100% Swedish. I do not know one word in Swedish.
Well, you guys should hang out.
And I don't have that accent or anything.
And then I was getting just garbage phone calls.
You notice I put my silence on my phone?
Yeah, but I get phone calls.
That's because you say, please give me a call here at 407.
I used to, but I quit doing that. Because when fiber started taking off really, really good, I didn't want these people to have my phone number. Now, granted, some of the commercials that I'll play for Profit Radio has the phone number in there, but I don't think they freaking register.
Now, do you, you know how you get hired to go to these voiceovers and you go on, and someone will say, can you come on the show, and you act like you're a customer?
Right.
You're going to start hiring people there to come in like they call in the show?
No.
No. No. That was
not worth my time.
Not worth your money either.
Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to talk about the cows. Fight with me on the cow thing. I say fight with me. Come up with, because I think we should milk cows. But
yeah, me too. So that's
so you have to come up with, or I will come up with not milking the cows, and you say milk the cows. How about that? I can be the negative. You can be the positive.
And then I have a kicker at the very end.
All right. And go. And then we'll go into the new Dragon Man. Ready? Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Welcome back to DeaconLive. You hear the lawnmower? I do this podcast every Wednesday at this time, and I tried to stay away from the guy who mowed his lawn across the property from us. Now, we're in a sound-sealed studio here, and for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And we sit on 20-some-odd acres, but there's a guy, I swear to God, he used to mow his lawn every Wednesday early in the morning, and then he would wrap it up, and then I would do the podcast. I'm like, all right, I'll do the podcast at this time, and then get it up on the air, and then upload it to iHeartRadio and all the stuff that goes on there. Now, forgot to say, hey, Dan, Do you hear the lawnmower over there? Dan's over my far right hand.
I can barely hear it.
You can barely hear it. I know, but it's annoying. It's annoying.
We'll have to get him some headphones.
Or tell him to stop mowing. So for those of you just joining us, make sure you go to profitradio.com and you can see all the links that shares our...
Is this your second day here?
This is my second day here. All the links that you can find us at, you can find that, and I totally lost my train of thought.
Your train of thought hasn't left the station.
It has not left the station. Oh. Anyways, go to profitradio.com and connect us with your social contacts and all the links that links us to you and you to us as well. How's that sound? Does that sound better?
That's much better.
I got free stickers. I got a bunch of free stickers coming in. I ordered a whole bunch more for all our listeners out there. All right. So, Dan, when you have cereal in the morning, first of all, are you a cereal eater?
Not in the morning. I have eggs and toast in the morning, but I will have a bowl of cereal later.
Get right up on the mic.
I will have a bowl of cereal later in the day.
Why later in the day?
Sometimes I feel like when it's hot and you don't really want to have a hot meal, I'll just have a bowl of cereal.
Now, on your cereal, what do you put on your cereal?
Almond milk.
Almond milk?
It's healthier for you. That's the reason I drink it. It's less fattening, and plus almond milk can stay in your refrigerator for 5 or 6 weeks. Where I buy a gallon of milk, I don't drink it, and after 3 days it ends up, I have to pour it down the drain.
All right, so trade off with me. A gallon of milk costs what? $1, $2? Let's say $2. Just make it even. $2, right? And it'll last for a week and a half?
I don't find it. Mine doesn't last that long. It's 3 or 4 days and you throw it out. That's why I drink the almond milk.
3 or 4 days? A gallon of milk, when you say it doesn't last, it spoils before.
It spoils long before I can drink it.
Dan, you're not. Where are you buying your milk from?
Aldi's.
Well, you need something that's double pasteurized, like Fairlife. Fairlife is like $4 for a half gallon.
I'll drink the almond.
All right, and then how recently have you started drinking almond milk?
About a year, a little over a year.
So before that, you were actually drinking like regular milk.
Yes.
All right, and I don't know why your milk spoils within 2 or 3 days. I think it's your setting on your refrigerator. What's your setting on your refrigerator? Like your setting on the AC in the house. You don't have it below what, 76, 74, 72 meat locker?
No, it's cold. We have the refrigerator set on cold, and actually, it's in an area where it has a little ductwork coming from the freezer, so it's actually cooler than the rest of the refrigerator.
And it's still spoiled.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if you buy milk on Friday, it will spoil by Monday?
Yeah, I can't
Dan,
tell you.
Come on.
I can't tell you how many times I've just poured it
No.
and dumped it out.
You're buying obviously Aldi's milk sucks. I got a half gallon in there now that I only bought it because she bought a big thing of cookies. And I'm like, I can't just eat these cookies. I need some kind of milk, and I make chocolate. I do the Hershey's chocolate milk thing, and it's been in there since I go grocery shopping every Friday at Walmart.
You know those lumps in it? That means it's bad.
No, it's still good. And even when I buy it and I put it in there, a half gallon, I guarantee you this Sunday it'll still be good.
Okay, I'll come by and check.
I will take a picture. I will do a video and I'll post it on our Facebook page. And you can be part of the Facebook page as well. Just go to ProfitRadio.com, click on social contacts, and make sure you like us on our Facebook page as well. Now, there's a lot of people out there that they say we shouldn't eat meat. We should all be plant-based. We should do all this stuff. Better for the planet, but better for the earth. Now, milking cows, there's a group of people out there that says milking cows is inhumane. Now, Dan, how do you feel about milking cows?
First of all, I think that's been going on for centuries. If we stop milking cows, first of all, you're going to have a whole industry of farmers that are out of work. Second of all, I think these cows are used to being milked, and if you don't milk them anymore, they're going to get sick, and they're going to have health issues and die from not being milked.
So in this article says, picture this. A woman is forcibly impregnated. After she gives birth, she is violently separated from her child. She is forced to breastfeed with other women's babies for 10 months. Then she's impregnated again, only to start this vicious cycle over wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. So I don't know if the cows are going to get pregnant anyways, right?
Yeah, they're going to get pregnant, and they're also going to take the cows and chop their heads off and make steaks for us and hamburgers. What are we going to do, stop everything?
But, if we're not milking cows, what's the next animal down the line that we're going to milk? And when I say milk, I'm not saying milk for money. I'm talking if these cows, these mama cows, don't have their udders dissolved or milked or pumped or whatever, they're in pain.
So we'll have to start milking goats next.
And then after goats, then what?
Grandmothers.
Gross. So when you say stop milking animals, all right? So let's say stop milking animals altogether. If someone puts their hand down and says, let's stop milking animals because of what happens, you don't know that cow that was birthed is going off and going to be, it's going to be, if it's a male or whatever, it'll be a beef cow or whatever, or the cycle rotates, rinse, repeat. We're going to lose, name 5 things that if we stop milking cows, what are we going to lose?
Milk, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Cheese. Buttermilk. It's just, that's insane.
Yeah. So a lot of this group of people were saying, milking cows is Thanks to her exorbitant amount of funds spending lobbyists and top-notch advertising, the dairy industry has tricked us. You know, what's the whole campaign about? Got milk, and it's got everyone with the milk mustache. It's the same company that came up with the whole advertisement with the incredible edible eggs. Yes. So it's the same company that said, and it's a farmer group. It's a farmer group, or all the farmers are getting together and say, hey, we need to sell more milk. We need to sell more eggs. That type of stuff. What's the other? It's the same company that came up with pork. The
other white meat.
Right.
Yes.
So it's the whole entire thing. These farmers are trying to make a living and trying to feed the population. So these people, this group of people saying that milking cows is inhumane.
Yeah, and I think those people, if they should stop drinking milk, that's doing their part right there.
But what about almond milk? I mean, what's the trade-off on almond milk? I mean, you plant a tree.
No almonds are killed making this milk.
No, they aren't killed. They're actually squeezed. So you plant a tree, and the almond does so many things, and then it falls, and then you squeeze the almond milk out. I mean, what's the trade-off? How many almonds does it take to make a half gallon of almond milk, as to how many cows does it take to make 1/2 gallon of milk? What's the time trade-off? The land, the fertilization, the industry as far as fertilization, bug control on these trees, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know what the whole metrics are of it, but I think that, you know, if you don't like milk and you have a real problem with it, don't drink it. Get enough of your friends not to drink milk, and the whole industry will disappear.
It's the people that they have acreage and acreage of land. They will make wheat, and the wheat will go to go to cow feed, rather than having that land just house cows. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think this is just like insane. That's all.
It is insane. Speaking of being insane, scientists have claimed they discovered a new species of human. Dan, are you in this article?
Oh, yes, the Dragon Man.
Right. They've named a species Homo longi, or the Dragon Man. They believe it's separated branch. It's a separate branch of humanity which exists 146,000 years ago, and this is what it looked like. For more information, we'll listen to this article from, where's it at?
It's from World is One News.
Okay. So for more information on this, let's listen to this.
The discovery of stardust older than the sun to the discovery of the largest dinosaur in Australia. The last 18 months have been quite eventful for historical discoveries.
All right, so all this took place in Australia, and this woman's accent's really, really thick, so...
Things keep getting more astonishing and interesting. Scientists have now discovered what could be a new species of humans, a separate branch of humanity altogether, which existed on this planet thousands of years ago and was not on its way to becoming our species, the Homo sapiens.
She reads better than I do. And for you to see this video, go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on Deacon Live. For every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. Look at her. She's a news reporter, elbows on the table. My dad would have a fit if she was eating at our dinner table.
I would get flicked in the ear.
Yes.
He'd flick his finger and hit me right in the ear when I would do that.
There you go.
Then what was the species exactly? Where did they live? How did they look? And what happened to this species of humans? Here's a report on all you need to know.
What you see is no ordinary skull. It belongs to a completely new species of humans, one that roamed this planet thousands of years ago. Its discovery is reshaping the very story of human evolution. The backstory is straight out of a movie. It begins in 1933, when a construction worker found an ancient skull buried deep in northeast China. He discovered it near the Harbin River, in China's Heilongjiang province. According to a study by The Innovation, the laborer chose to hide the skull and did not mention it to anyone. He buried it in an abandoned well, where it remained wrapped and hidden for 85 years. In 2018, the laborer told his family about the fossil right before he died.
Of course he did.
The family dug it up and donated it to the Geoscience Museum in Hebei. 3 years and countless evaluations later, to an unknown species which they're calling Homo longi, or Dragon Man, name derived from its geographic location, the Heilongjiang province, which roughly translates to the Dragon River. Don't go by its weird terminology. The Dragon Man is being called our closest evolutionary relative. It represents a group that lived in East Asia 146,000 years ago.
Can you imagine that? You think he's worried about Windows 11?
No, I don't think he's worried. I think he's worried about, am I going to get a job at Geico?
It had large square eye sockets, thick brow ridges, a wide mouth, and oversized teeth. Its skull is bigger than the average skulls of species from that time, but the brain is comparatively same in size as other species. All these facial features make the Dragon Man resemble modern people more closely than any other extinct species, even Neanderthals. So where exactly did it live? Scientists say the Dragon Man probably lived in a forested floodplain area, but it may have been able to disperse throughout Asia based on the location where it was found. Its large size indicates the Dragon Man may have also adapted to harsh environments. The reason for its extinction is still unknown. The unknowns, along with nature, location, and name of the discovery, may be a good reason to doubt its credibility, but the composition of the research team settles most suspicions. A group of international researchers worked on evaluating the Dragon Man. They're sticking their neck out to say that it is indeed a separate branch of humanity.
All right, so they found a new branch of humanity, which is what they call Dragon Man. A guy, what did they say, a worker in 1918 found the skull excavating and then hid it in a well, and on his deathbed said, "Hey, do you have any last requests? What do you regret? Rascally rabbit, what do you regret?" And he goes, "In a well." Down by, he said in Chinese, so he's like, in a way.
Yes, that's how Chinese people speak.
And he said about this skull, and they dug it up. And but why would he hide a skull from?
It may have something that totally forgot. Put it in there and forgot about it.
Anyways. So there you go. The Dragon Man is another link in our chain as far as us as humanity. And it was found in China. So, I mean, and he didn't look Chinese. You know, when they did the portrait, you ever seen those forensic people that find a skull and they go, we don't know what the skull is. And they make clay or who the skull is. They make clay and they do, like, based on the bone structure, they will do like a face, and all of a sudden you look at it and you're like going, oh my God, that's a female woman, or it's a female man. It's a man or a woman. You know, and this type features, they just made this guy look just normal. Like,
why have they only found one? You know, I mean, they had to be more than one of them.
That's true. I did not think of that. Why did they only? And even if it was a mass slaughter, like there was only 30 of these dragon people in this area, and for whatever reason, a meteor hit or fire hit, or they just died. They only found one.
Yeah, maybe he was the hide and seek champion.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to take... I don't know what to say after that. All right, when we come back, we'll dive into a little bit more of the show and let you guys get back to what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Thanks, Dave. That caught me off guard.
Well, that's my whole idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could get you to chuckle, the other people are going to, you know, I mean, it's contagious. So.
And I always cut out my laughter, so.
You keep a little of it in.
I do, just to say that I laughed, that I thought it was humorous. Like a bone.
It was hubris.
And what I'll do with that video, the reason why I let it go so long is I want to I can chop that up so it's like 5-minute video. I can chop that up and make it a 3-minute video to where it gets to the points of what it, and the guy was found in China. And, you know.
Yep, I know. This one way to drive an archaeologist crazy.
It's a mud dauber.
Oh, that is.
Yeah, it is.
Squish him in your monitor.
No. He's still there, that guy. He's still holding on.
Yep.
You see him?
Yep. Is that the mower I'm hearing?
Yeah. All right. We're gonna come back. We'll have some more fun. Some stuff that we want to talk about.
What do you want to go into next?
I want to talk about me and my wife doing CBD oil and fireworks. I have no articles or anything on this. This is just basic conversation between me and you. You okay? Everything good at home?
Everything's good.
Yeah, see, he's getting closer to this side of the property. You can hear it. He's got 82 acres, but his house sits on 7. So he mows the back, and then you can hear him get close.
I fall asleep watching that. I'd fall asleep because I had a 6-acre field, and I'd fall asleep every time.
What do you mean fall asleep every time?
I'm on the mower.
Really?
Asleep. I have a talent for that. I can sleep anywhere.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over on my far right-hand side, we have Dan, who's going to be a permanent staple here on the show.
Yes, and I'm glad to be here. It's interesting.
You got to be quicker than that, Dan.
I am so glad to be here.
All right. And make sure you show him some love as well. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the Be Heard section. And what it does is you can leave a voicemail or voice message. Comes right to my inbox, and we'll play it on this podcast if you get it in quick enough. If not, we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. And who wants to be famous? Everyone wants to be part of something. Like Dan. Dan wants to be part of something as well.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this. It's good to be here.
Okay, good. So being a part of something, now in North Carolina, is medical marijuana legal? I forget the rules right now. Is medical marijuana legal here in North Carolina?
Everything's legal as long as you don't get caught, as Bob Dylan would say.
Right. But what I'm saying is, medical marijuana, like, can I go down to my doctor and say, I've got glaucoma, I can't hear right, or whatever, my arm hurts, my back hurts, or I have anxiety, that's a big thing. Can I get medical marijuana here in North Carolina?
I'm not sure in North Carolina. A lot of states it is legal now.
You know what you should do, Dan? Now, because you're part of the show and you've got a nice brand new laptop over there, why don't you look up, see if medical marijuana, while I discuss what happened to me and my wife and I. So my wife and I, are you familiar with CBD oil? Cannabis oil. Are you familiar with that?
No, I'm not familiar with it. I've just heard of it. So
okay, so my wife and I, it's an extract that's not supposed to get you high, but it gives you the benefits of, and I don't even know what it is, so I'm talking out of my ass at the same time.
Okay, hemp-derived CBD with less than 0.3%, 0.3%, did become legal in 2008. And
Okay.
It is legal.
It is legal here. Now, is cannabis legal here in Florida, like medical marijuana?
We're not in Florida.
I mean, not Florida, North Carolina?
No, medical marijuana is not. No.
All right. So anyways, I was getting my new tires on my little red truck, my little red farm truck. It's a little red Nissan 1992. The wheels are like 14-inch, 195 14s or whatever they are. And I had to get brand new tires for my truck. What'd you find out?
Medical marijuana is illegal in North Carolina.
Okay, so it's still illegal. So I dropped it off at this really, really great place, and in the strip mall, they had a CBD shop, like a smoke shop, like a head shop.
Yeah, it was a vape shop 2 weeks ago.
Vape shop. It still is. And I walked in there, and I felt like I was in New York. You ever been in New York City, or the little bodegas and stuff where everything is like all behind, everything that they own is all behind glass. Everything, no matter what it is all behind glass.
Like a bank.
Like a bank. But all it had was all these different flavored hookahs, all these different flavored vapes, and it had all the, even like the little gummy bears and stuff. The candy was behind. You know, you couldn't just reach down and grab a Snickers bar off it's behind the counter. So I walk in, and this guy kind of looks at me. He's already eyeballing me. He's eyeballing me like going, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." My wife. I said, "Hold on." That's a big thing. I had my headphones in, so I pulled my headphones off like I'm a secret agent guy and stuck them in my shirt. And I said, "My wife's having a hard time sleeping." And she'll get halfway through the night. We've done melatonin. We've done Tylenol PMs. We've done Advil PMs. Now, Dan, do you have hard times getting to sleep, or does you and your wife have hard times? Now, I know your wife's on a totally different schedule than you are.
She has a hard time falling asleep. I usually hit the pillow, and I'm tossing and turning for 30 seconds. My wife can't believe she'll come up there. Sometimes we'll come up at the same time. I'll come to bed, and she'll say something, and she looks, goes, "Damn it, you're asleep." And she was, usually I go to bed when I'm.
Now, do you take any sleep aids or anything?
Sometimes I'll drink wine every once in a while. I have taken melatonin, but I don't need it except for last night. I just tossed and turned because every part of me ached and I couldn't find a comfortable position to lay in. That's all.
So have you done like Advil PMs? Because I've taken Advil PMs.
I usually don't take much. I'm not one for taking much beyond a couple vitamins a day.
Okay. So my wife, I walked in there and I explained to the gentleman behind the counter, I said, "Look, my wife's having a hard time. She can't stay asleep. She can't, she'll take the melatonin within 3 or 4 hours. She'll be awake, and then she's awake for 4 or 5 hours. And then, of course, the night's done and she has to get up." I said, "Do you have anything to relax her, to let her go to sleep?" And he goes, "Does she vape?" And I go, "No, we don't smoke. We don't do anything. Do you have an oil or anything?" And he's like, "Well, not really." And I'm talking, this guy's like, looks Armenian. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Big Gonzamaka, gold chain, his hair's all greased. And I wouldn't take medical advice from this guy, but he can at least explain to me what he has.
And then you ask him for medical advice.
Right. And I say, "Well, what do you have that she can take that'll make her sleep throughout the night?" And he grabbed these two little packets, small packets, and one was, about 2 inches by 2 inches. The other one was like 3 inches by 3 inches. Little candy packets. And there were gummy bears. He's like, "I've got edibles." I'm like, "All right, well, what's the difference between the two?" He goes, "This one has 7 inside, 7 gummies. And when you say gummies, I'm thinking gummy bears. No. They're like strips of gummy, like strips of gum."
Oh, okay.
Okay. And he's like, "These are however many milligrams. This is $10.99. I said, "For 7?" He goes, "Yeah, $10.99. And then this one has 3, and it's $7.99. I said, "Which one's more powerful?" He goes, "Oh, these 3 right here." I go, "Well, give me those. So I stuck them in my pocket, came home, and I said, "Look what I got you." She's like, "Oh, those are cool." I said, "Yeah, let's try them out." I said, "The guy said to take 1, and then if you need more, take 2. I said, "There's 3 in here."
Same thing I always did with acid.
Right, exactly. So she said, "All right." So we planned this all out. We had a good dinner, and we said, "Okay, we're shutting it off, and shutting down the night." So 8, 9 o'clock, she's like, handing me the acid pill or the acid gummy or whatever, the sleep gummy. I take it. She takes hers. And within 30 minutes, I was out. I was sleeping, slept the best. It was awesome. Slept good night. Next morning, she takes hers. Of course, she sleeps and whatever. Next morning, I go, "So how did it go?" And she's like, "Whoa." I go, "What do you mean, whoa?" She's like, "My hands felt like they were floating." And I was doing like octopus things. And my mind went to all these other... She's like, "Didn't you feel anything?" I go, "No, I just kind of passed out and went to sleep."
Do you think it was placebo effect?
I don't know. But, I mean, yeah, it could be a placebo effect. She said her hands, she's like, "Oh, my God, this is so..." I was loopy. I was walking around. I was loopy. I go, "All right, babe, relax."
My two of my sister-in-laws were living with my father-in-law. And there was a show they wanted to watch on HBO. And he just sits there and watches the news and different programs. And he had the only TV with HBO in the house. So they made him supper, and they laced it with melatonin. He had his supper, and he was asleep by 7 o'clock, and they just sat on the bed next to him and watched the show they wanted to see on HBO, and we call them the Brewster Sisters.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Now, the next night, she's like, I'm like, are you ready to do this again? She's like, oh, yeah. She's like, but I only want a half. I go, good, because there's only one left. It was a 3-pack. She took one, I took one, and now we have one left. So we ripped it in half, and I took one, and she took and even still, she was like, whoa. I was like, she's like, I didn't feel as bad, didn't feel as floaty as I did before, but I felt it. She's like, you? I go, I don't know.
I think this is a gateway drug. This is going to get you in. Next thing you know, you're going to be smoking marijuana, and you'll be dancing and things like that.
Oh, heaven forbid I go dancing, right?
Yeah, I've never taken that.
So with calming out and everything, or chilling out and trying to get some sleep. Now, we have the 4th of July weekend coming up. Dan, are you got any big plans for this 4th of July weekend?
No, 4th of July has never been a big holiday for me.
Really? How come? Don't you do fireworks? Don't you go to like the park and with your kids, or not your kids because you don't have any kids, but I mean, you go and mingle with everyone?
No, it's never been a big holiday for me. When I was a kid, I'd go and watch the fireworks, but now it kind of bothers me because we've always had pets, and fireworks drive the dogs totally crazy. People forget how sensitive their hearing is. They can hear things we can't hear, and the fireworks is, it's like you going in and I only light a fire truck, but this year I'm going to do it in my bathtub. It would bother you. So.
Right, but a lot of people would say they've got these jackets for dogs, for animals, like these heavy jackets. They call them I think they call them thunder vests. Like even if they have a thunderstorm, and that's where, and this is where my wife and I differ. I'm like, babe, there's no difference between having fireworks and having a thunderstorm that comes through. Well, you can control fireworks. I know you can control fireworks, but I think that we should celebrate our independence. Now, granted, some jackasses will fire stuff off till 1 o'clock in the morning, and those people are.
I just split a Benadryl in half and give it. It calms the dog down. Give one to one, half to one dog, half to the other dog.
Now, the new vet that we were at, there was a woman there that said she was getting. Oh God, what was she getting? Xanax? Was she getting Xanax? There was something that she was getting for her dogs because of the upcoming weekend, and she's like, I don't want to kill my dog. And the lady's like, oh no, just give them half now so they can get used to it, and then give them a full one, and then I think it was Xanax.
Yeah, when we took our dog Katie cross country, she did not like riding in cars. She'd get fidgety, and the doctor says, get the Benadryl, break a Benadryl in half and give it to him, and we gave it to him for like 2 days, and the third day he was already used to being in the car. We didn't have to give it to him anymore.
But people are saying, hey, keep in mind that fireworks, PTSD. Now, when people say PTSD, understand this, Dan, and bear with me. PTSD is what they call post-traumatic
shock syndrome.
Well, it was called shell shock at one time, and now they like George Carlin said, they've smoothed it out so it's more palatable. It used to be called PTSD, now it's called PTSS, which is post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's not a disorder. They took the disorder out of it. But think about, all right, so we still have, what's World War II? Do we still have World War II veterans?
Yes, we still have some. Not many left.
Not many left. All right, and then after that you have Korea. Well, you had Vietnam. You had Korea. And then you had, Desert Storm. And then you had, what else?
Okay. After Desert Storm, then we had the Gulf War.
Gulf War. And then what else? That was it, right? Yeah. I mean, basically, as far as like big wars, big televised wars that we were sitting there, complaining about and making movies about, right? So my concern was PTSD in World War II. I can understand World War II because how many hundreds and thousands of troops, and am I boring you over there?
No. Didn't sleep last night, I told you.
How many hundreds of thousands of troops that we had that was involved in World War II. I can understand PTSD in that. Same thing with Vietnam. Vietnam, we had how many hundreds literally saw combat. Like you were sitting there in the trench and boom, your friend blew up next to you and you're like going, holy shit, I got his blood on my face. And then you got into Korea. Korea War is a whole thing in itself. And then you got into Desert Storm. Desert Storm, I think we had, like 10,000 troops and lost maybe 5,000. I say lost maybe. Like it's a drop in a bucket, but it's not. We lost maybe a couple thousand troops.
Yeah, I think we did very well. I mean, considerably.
Right. But what I'm saying is the number of people that are now suffering with PTSD, war versus troops involved in the war, troops that were involved in the war that actually saw action, and then troops that saw actions that have returned home that have PTSD. I think those numbers have increasingly decreased.
But you have more. It was 8 years they spent in Afghanistan, and in Kuwait, and I just think that I think people know more, and there's more news, and it's a mess for people. So.
Right, but what I'm saying is I don't think the ratio of population of humans, how many people do we have in the United States? 360 million?
Somewhere around there.
All right. And then the percentage of people that are suffering right now, this weekend, coming up, suffering from PTSD is, what do you think? 2%, 4%, 0.4%?
Even if it's one. I mean, it's that one person, what they're suffering.
No, I mean, well, yeah. So they're saying that, fireworks are we shouldn't do fireworks. We shouldn't do that because of our animals. Hello, thunderstorms, same thing. And this only happens one time a year. How many times have thunderstorms happened?
And I really can't think of anyone, someone shooting off fireworks on 4th of July, it's going to drive them, If you're doing them inside their house, maybe. But.
So, in my opinion, this is what's going to happen because, people don't want you to milk cows. People don't want you to have cheese. People don't want you to have butter. What I'm seeing in this administration that we have right now, before this administration is done and out of office, I guarantee you fireworks are going to be banned in statewide, but only on, like, Disney can only do them, and Universal Studios can do them, and only places that can populate or have like Fiesta Texas or any of the Six Flags or any of those theme parks are the only ones that are going to be allowed to have fireworks.
No, I think they have much more pressing issues than that, and I just
really
don't see that. Yeah,
do
I
you
don't
really?
See that. Yes, I do. There's so many other things that have to be taken.
Have you
care
seen
of.
what this administration has done so far?
No, I haven't had to watch too much of it.
I know, and we try to be light and fluffy here, and light and fluffy. But this is the thing: people are saying don't shoot off fireworks. Now I understand it. If, for example, here at the house, if I start lighting off friggin' mortars that I bought from Joe Johnson down the road, the guy next door who has a dog that, can you not do that? Because my dog kind of freaks out a little bit. You know what? I'll do it up to what they call like the safe zone or the twilight, the sound silence. You're only allowed to have noise or a party or anything up until 10 o'clock. And then after 10 o'clock, there's that little...
In Marshville, no one stays up till 10 o'clock, so I don't understand what you're talking about.
I know, but what I'm saying is there's got to be a limit. Like I can sit there and blare my music all day long, and let's say cut off is 9 o'clock, and then maybe 10 o'clock. If you hear late, like a lot of music after 11 o'clock, and here in the country, sound travels, and you're like going, hey, these guys are, it's 11 o'clock, 11:30, 12 o'clock. They're still partying. It's keeping me up. I got to work in the morning. Yeah. But, I mean, there's got to be a cutoff. Like, no fireworks after 10 o'clock.
Oh, in our neighborhood, we hear them 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. People are, shooting them off.
Oh, we got people in the property behind us, the other 50 acres behind us. They're testing out their guns. And they sit there, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. And every year, you look at the fireworks, and there's one or two stories about somebody that thought the firework didn't go off, and all of a sudden they looked down the tube,
blew his damn hand off,
and they blew the head off the football player that lost a bunch of fingers on it, and it seems like there's a tragedy every year with it, and it's
and the one guy who was running around with the Roman candle helmet on, and the whole thing exploded on his head, blew his fucking head off.
Oh yeah, the people are nuts with them.
They are nuts with them. All right, when we come back, we got a couple more topics to talk about, so stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. A lot of show to get to, so stick around. I'll be right back.
There's a video on YouTube called Rocket Man, and the guy
Rocket Man,
and he sticks the
in his butt.
The skyrockets in his butt, and it shoot, and all the flames were burning him. He's running around screaming. And stuff.
Holy shit! You doing okay on time?
Yeah, I was yawning a little bit because I lost my sleep.
Well, I can make some coffee. You want some coffee?
I have a coffee in my truck.
Oh, do you?
All ready to go. But we got this Hawaiian coffee, and I gotta dump it out because it just doesn't do anything for you.
We bought a the Keurig. We got a Keurig only because when her dad passed away, that's what he had because it was just one guy. And we went to that discounted grocery store, and they had 24 pods, some off-brand from a hotel or something, for $3.99. I'm like, 24 pods for $3.99? Do you know how much 24 pods costs? It's like 18, 19 bucks. So we bought it, and we did it like normal setting, and we took a sip. It was like water. It was like brown water. I'm like going, all right, so we need to fix the setting on the Keurig. So we hit the strong button, and we hit a smaller cup, and it made us, instead of doing the big cup, we did a smaller cup.
So it's going to put less water. Does it run it through twice or something to make it strong? How does it make it stronger? I can understand changing the.
I don't know how it does stronger, but there's a thing that says, "Do you want it strong?" You hit strong, so I guess it.
Yeah. My father said, "There's no such thing as strong coffee; it's just weak people."
Right.
That's what he said. He used to drink his coffee black all the time. But a friend of mine gave me some coffee, and he gave me the beans, and we ground them up, and those were really good. I have one of the little grinders, just a little. I think Ryobi makes it. No.
All right, so hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Have you ever gone in and say, okay, we're going to take another break here and put that in? Or?
It's really hard to do once you're on the rhythm. Okay. We're on 6. We need to do. I know it says 131.
No, you're in charge. You're good.
Well, I don't want like 4 o'clock to roll around and Kathy be looking for me.
No, I told her. I said I'll be back when I come back.
Okay. We need to do 2 more segments to round this out. Because we got 6 breaks right now. Okay.
What do we want to talk about?
The next one is going to be. I want to talk about. United Airlines buys 270 planes. And in tandem with that, I want to. I've got a video, so we really don't have to talk or anything. I got a video about how drones are helping with damages during hurricanes and stuff. It's my realtor actually that. I bought and sold all my houses in Florida. This is her husband. So I was like going, and I didn't know it at the time. And I'm like going, I didn't know. I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking Becky's husband. I'm like going, hey, can I use this article? Are you okay with that? She's like, oh, yeah, do that, yeah. So
it helps save people, or it helps.
Well, when you listen to the article, it's instead of, you would fly in a big chopper, and the chopper can't really get low enough to see what's going on. They're using these military drones.
Like when the president flies by and looks down at the water and goes, yeah, we got a problem there.
Yeah, there's a problem there. Great, now I got to pee again, Dan. Good job. Don't forget to take some eggs home, too. Since my Swedish mom's not coming over and get them. I don't want them to go bad, so. You good with that?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Yeah. All right. All right, we're going to talk about United buys 270 new planes, and then go into the drones hurricane. So make sure I pull these up.
They did construction. They're doing construction on the Garrison Bridge and everything around us. And somebody has drones and flies back and forth to Albemarle, and you can look at.
Well, say that. You can use that. Ready?
Yes. I can't tell you how many ads I've seen for pickup trucks now that I have a new pickup truck.
What were you saying? You've never seen more ads for?
Yeah, for Chevy pickup trucks and different pickup trucks everywhere now that I have one.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right hand side is Dan. How are you?
I'm doing great.
How's the truck's running?
Yeah, the truck's running fine. I got the stereo. I got to show you what I did to the mirrors too.
All right, I'll see that after the show. And the way you can be part of the show is to go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the Be Heard section if you want to comment or discuss anything that we do here on Deacon Live. It leaves a voice message, comes right to our email box. You can be part of this podcast or any podcast that we've talked about in the past. We'll play it on the very next podcast in tandem. Now, United Airlines. Dan, are you a now you were flying. You were, I don't want to say condemned to your house because of the COVID-19 virus, but you literally did not come out of your house for the whole entire time.
Yeah, I would not leave my yard. I had nobody over my house. We were in solitary lockdown.
That's not true because I came over, but you wouldn't come within 10 feet of me.
I had the 20-foot rule.
What's the 20-foot rule?
You don't come within 20 feet of me.
All right.
I ran away. I've run away from people too.
All right. So, are you ready to get out there now? Are you a traveler? Do you like to travel around the planet? Do you and your wife go on trips?
Yeah, we go on trips and we take JetBlue usually when we do fly, but we don't. Most of the time, we'd like to drive if we can because it's a better adventure.
Why would you take JetBlue? Because it's cheaper.
Cheaper, yes.
Don't they have like plastic seats, like lunchroom chair seats?
You can smell the glue drying on the wings. Yeah, it's. Well, actually, I mean, the snacks are okay. They've always been pleasant flights for us.
All right. Well, are you familiar with this company, United Airlines? Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
All right. So United Airlines, they are. I guess they're boosting. Did they get a grant from the company or from the government to subsidize their income?
I haven't heard anything. I heard that they're supposed to create 25,000 jobs by buying these planes.
Well, here's what's happening. United is buying 270 Boeing and Airbus jets. It's the largest ever order for a post-COVID growth plan. Now, United is buying 270 planes in order to make up for the 200 Boeing MAX jets. Remember the MAX jets that were falling out of the sky? They were diving down.
It's gravity. Everyone knows it's gravity.
Well, the MAX jets they couldn't tell the difference between the horizon or the ground. So they were like going in the ground.
Yeah. John Lee Hooker once said, if God wanted me to fly, he would have bought me tickets. He never flew on a plane.
Really? Who's John Lee Hooker?
You don't know Blues?
I don't know Blues. Sorry.
He was a great. I don't think he's still alive. Now I got to look it up.
All right. Now, while you look this up, I'm going to continue with this. And 70 Airbuses that were discontinued. The airline is making seat back screens central to its new aircraft interiors and adding a higher number of roomier seats in coach. Is he alive?
Yep. No, he died in 2001.
Oh.
But he was one of these great, like B.B. King. He was very famous blues player.
Was he in the towers?
No, he died in 2001.
Right.
No, he wasn't in the towers.
Okay, just checking.
June 21st before that. So.
Okay. Never saw it coming. United expects... Whoa. Got it? United expects to add
25,000.
Thank you.
It's just a number.
I know. I'm dyslexic, Dan. When I get the numbers, I flip things around, including pilots and flight attendants for the new jets.
And just for me, I wouldn't think that. I think that's a big gamble because aren't less people flying now? Or
well, it is a very big gamble, but United Airlines unveiled on Tuesday it's the largest aircraft order, 270 narrow-body jetliners from Boeing and Airbus, as its carrier charts its most post-pandemic growth. The fleet plan is central to United's goal of capturing more travelers, particularly high-paying ones. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to bump up the prices, and saying, hey, look, no, we're available now. We've got all these brand new jets, and they're making the coach seats bigger, which I always said before. Make the seats bigger, charge a little bit more, and let me have some comfort while I'm flying.
Oh, yeah, I have no comfort when I'm flying.
And then let people like the JetBlue or what's the other
Southwest Airlines.
Southwest, they're weird over. They got their own cult of people over there.
Virgin Airlines.
Yeah. And cram those people in there with the goats and the chickens in the back and let them fly if they just want to get somewhere. I just want to get somewhere.
That's basic what I do.
Yeah. So they're buying 270, and that's going to be booming. I don't know where they I guess across the board 25,000 jobs is going to happen here in the next couple months, which is great.
Oh yeah, great jobs. If we can get somebody to be hired, that's the whole problem too.
Now I know personally, I think five or six airline stewardesses, and my next door neighbor is a pilot as well. He works for one of the big three, I guess is what I'm saying. And so I'll have to ask him about it if that's going to change his schedule, because he just recently got promoted to captain. And when you get promoted to captain, then you do so many air miles, and then you're allowed to go over the international. And not by yourself. You have to go on with a higher ranked person, I guess.
Okay, I watched Airplane. I know what's going on.
Right. Over, under.
That's a Roger.
Right. Now, speaking of flying, Seminole County Fire Department is using drones to help assess damage during hurricanes. Now, my wife bought me a drone. Dan, are you familiar with drones or how they work?
I do. I'm familiar how they work. I'm running up Wi-Fi. Very interesting. I would like to have one. It'd be a nice toy.
I've got 2 drones. So maybe you'll have to come over one day during the weekend, and you can teach me, or me and you can figure out how to do it. Because I take a drone. I've got a nice one. I say a nice one. It was my wife probably paid $200 for it. But it's got a camera attached to it, and like a small, what's the camera that everyone has, the small one, GoPro. Yeah, it's got a GoPro attached to it, and it's so heavy that I literally have to throttle it up, and it goes zzz, but it doesn't stay up there. I don't know how to get it to stay and sit and twist and turn. And a guy I was working with says you got to sit there and you have to dial it in. You have to train it to come off the ground. And then there's buttons that I don't know how to do it.
It's like training a dog. You have to learn, and the dog has to learn.
So Seminole County Fire Department is using drones to help assess damage during hurricane season. Now, being from Florida, Seminole County is one of the most richest counties outside of like Boca Raton and all that in the Central Florida area. Hurricane season is here, and while luckily no storms have made landfall yet this year, in the Sunshine State, many homeowners and emergency leaders are already preparing for storms in the future. This year, Seminole County Fire Department has a new tool to help them after a storm hits, utilizing drones to make more response safer and faster for each department.
Well, that's good because you can, no one's getting hurt in the drone. You can fly right over, see exactly where you need to go, where the relief needs to go.
Yeah, because how much money does it cost to fire up? Because what do they do now? They fire up a helicopter, and then some schmo gets in there, and he's got binoculars, and that helicopter's flying around, burning diesel fuel, burning whatever kind of jet fuel that's in there, and then lands, and they go, well, what'd you find out? Well, there's, this is damage. Did you go over that area? Oh, shit. I forgot to go over that area. Yeah. Now with drones, go ahead.
They can see that Timmy's cat is stuck in the tree.
Right. Now with drones, this article is from News 13 from my home state of Florida. So here we go.
I mean, when you were a little kid, you thought about flying stuff, and this kind of turned from a hobby into part of your job, which is awesome.
For years, Aaron Geisey has been flying drones for fun, and now he gets to put his sky-high tech skills to use at work with the Seminole County Fire Department. Already, drones are helping the department respond better and faster to everything from trail rescues to fires.
You can launch them basically anywhere, take them straight to the damaged area and get a nice bird's eye view to be able to direct crews, to be able to find victims, to be able to find people in distress.
With With hurricane season already turning up storms in the Atlantic, Geisy says drones will make a big difference, improving how and where crews respond when a storm hits.
Before it was just, we have some rural stations and they would have to go out street by street and take account. Now we can just send a drone up and take away that part of their job and send them to more critical areas of need.
In this video provided by the Seminole County Fire Department, you can see the drones in action. By identifying hazards from the sky first, like rising water levels from flooded rivers and lakes after a hurricane passes over, they can navigate through storm
and look how
damage
clear the
faster.
picture is on that thing.
Thermal imaging on the camera allows them to quickly identify potential victims, making rescues safer.
To see what areas aren't accessible for first responders to get to, and also see people that...
And it's got thermal imaging, which is great. You know, if you've got a house that's flooded, you can see if there's warm bodies in there, I guess.
Or you could turn around and say, no, we don't have to risk somebody going in to try to do a rescue when there's no one there.
Correct.
Might be stranded out there during hurricane season, and how to get to them.
With boots on the ground and blades in the air, Geisy says drones are becoming an integral part of their department's tool belt, vital to helping keep both their team and Seminole County safe.
Every department throughout the nation should have this. It's that beneficial.
In Longwood, Rachel Krause, Spectrum News 13.
So there you go. I mean, drones are, I wish I could get my drone to just sit there and pivot in the air, but I don't know how to get it to, I can get it up, and then I have to throttle up, and then left or right. It's a mess, and I'll show you mine. I'll have to charge it up, and we'll play with it one day.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. I have a real problem with this.
What's that?
It makes too much sense. You know, the world we're in, where everything is upside down and topsy-turvy, and black is white and white is black.
How much do you think that drone was? Because that looked like a military drone. It had the camera that was going up and down on it.
Maybe $500 or something.
No way. It's not like a connecting your freaking iPhone up to it and you
go back on the video.
Hold on. All right, hold on. What are you looking at?
I thought it said UV12, but that may just be.
That might be that unit.
What's the?
All right, hold on. He's looking. He wants to see the model, making the model of this. Oh, wait. That was it right there. It's the
Mayak 2 Enterprise.
All right, so Dan's going to look up how much how much this drone costs. And while he's doing that, we're going to take one more quick little break. And, hey, Dan, you had a Mercedes, didn't you, at one time?
Yes, I did. Mercedes SUV.
Did SUV Mercedes?
Yeah, ML320.
Oh, did you really?
The stereo system was awesome.
I'm sure it was. You didn't have to replace it or anything. All right, when we come back, I'll show you what this knucklehead did with his Mercedes, and we'll wrap up the show and let you guys get back to what you got to do. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
$3,350.
I told you. Okay. For that stupid thing.
Yeah, I've always thought it would be nice to, just to fly around.
I've got two of them. I've got her dad's. Her dad's has 6 propellers on them, and of course he's got no. When he was living, he was living by himself, so he had no one to play with. And then Amy bought me one, a real nice one, and I actually hooked up the GoPro camera, and I think, Dan, it was so high in the air I couldn't see it, and it was recording. I've got videos of it somewhere, and. But I can't get it to... You're supposed to be able to get it up to a certain height and let it sit there. But I'm throttling up. As soon as I let go of that throttle, there's a spring on it. It'll bring it back to center. And it would go... Zzz, and I had to go... And hit the throttle back up and go... Zzz, back up.
Yeah, sometimes it's touch, sometimes... Yeah, it is something I would love... It'd be a nice toy to get along with a Woodger vest. And things like that. Now that I've got everything I need in life.
Not today, because I don't want to have to sit there and dig it out. Maybe I'll let you take her dad's home, and you can play with it and charge it up. The battery only lasts for 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then you read the manual and understand how to get it to get to go. Well, I like to look at stuff, poke around a little bit, but then read the manual.
Yeah. All right, what are we doing? Oh, drifting and... I don't want to do the pictures from Mars. Fuck them. Bad idea. Bad idea. All right, I'm going to burn through man survives great shark attack.
We did shark last week.
Andy Dick got arrested. And then we're going to dive right into the Mercedes video. So put this up. Thank you. Andy Dick.
Oh, they have one for $6,500 too.
Sure. And then man gets eaten by shark.
Oh, they have one for $7.99, but it doesn't have the thermal.
Right. Yeah, they had the thermal, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, you can see which girls are really hot when you're driving on the street. Yeah, 4K cameras. You see $400 or $500. That's what I'd want to spend. They give you a 6K camera, and so you save the film, and it takes you up your whole hard drives.
Right. All right, here we go. You ready? Welcome back to Deacon Live. Over to my far right-hand side, we have Dan, who's been joining us. He's going to be a permanent staple to the show.
I'm glad to be here.
We're glad to have you, and I'll get him trained here, folks. So don't worry. It's a work in progress with him, and he's so anxious to do this, which is great. And I love someone that loves doing this. So.
And I want to get you straightened out.
Get me straightened up as well. And for those of you who want something for free, go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com, and click on the free swag section. There's a little, you can pick out whatever. We got new stickers, we got new magnets, we got a whole bunch of stuff up there for you. Pick out one of those, and we'll send it right to your house as quickly as we can. Now, last week we talked about a guy who said he was swallowed up by what kind of whale was it?
Oh, it was just a whale.
No, I mean...
A mammoth whale.
No, was it a mammoth whale or was it a beluga whale? No.
No, that doesn't...
It's one of the big whales, and it was off the coast of... I don't know where it was, and the guy said, I was in a scuba... What?
It was off the coast of Weymouth, Mass, near the Cape.
Near the Cape, yeah, because that's where you went fishing. And he said the whale sucked him in, and he said he was in his scuba gear, and then the whale shoved him out, but no one saw it, and he swam to shore, and then whatever the case may be... we think it's false. Now, this guy right here actually survived. A man survives a great white shark attack, says he probably is the luckiest man in the world. And for more details on this story, I'm going to play this quick little video. And can you imagine? Now, Ponce Inlet in Florida. By the way, Florida's the shark bite capital of the world. And Ponce Inlet is a very, very deep trench off the coast of Florida, the east coast of Florida, where sharks come in and chase bait fish all the time. So there's a lot more shark bites out there. This great white, which is like from the movie Jaws, attacks this California surfer. In San Francisco, a man was looking for crabs in Gray Whale Cove State Beach, where he felt a sharp pain following a slight push. When he looked down, he was staring at the face of a great white shark that had just bitten him. For more on the story, we'll go to this video.
In the water after a shark attack off the coast of Northern California. A 39-year-old man was surfing south of San Francisco Saturday when authorities say a great white shark swam up and bit the back of his right leg.
He was out surfing and a great white came up and just took one bite out of him and released him.
Thomas Masada was fishing nearby when he saw the surfer limping out of the water.
Now, see, they say sharks, as soon as they touch your meat, they don't like the taste of us for whatever reason.
Yeah, and also the water is cold there, so he was probably wearing a wetsuit.
Right, so that probably helped him out a
For
lot.
help and bleeding badly.
As soon as I saw him, he collapsed to the ground and was holding his leg. The first thing he said was, "I've been bitten by a shark."
Masada says he dialed 911, but before help arrived, he tried to stop the bleeding using straps from his backpack to create a makeshift tourniquet.
I remember saying, "It's life or death. You need to send someone soon." And then the call dropped off. At that point, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, please don't let this guy die.
Within minutes, emergency
While I'm here is what he meant to say on the end of that.
Yes.
arrived, treating the surfer with advanced.
What's that?
This brings back sad moments for me.
Why?
It was in the mid-'70s, and I watched the movie Jaws, and I don't think I've cried as much in a movie as when that shark died.
Now, you say that, and that's the prime reason why I don't go swimming and I don't like the water at all. When did Jaws come out?
1975.
So I was 2 years old, and my mom and dad took me to Jaws, and I was petrified. So when you bring kids into a movie, I was that child, and I went to see Jaws, and to this day I do not go in the water. I'm petrified of the water.
Yeah, and I cried because the shark got killed. I love that shark.
Well, you're a special breed in yourself. Now, speaking of being a special breed, do you know who Andy Dick is?
Yes, he's actually Andrew Tomlinson is his real name.
Is it really? I had no idea, and thank you for that information. Andy Dick, are you a fan of him?
I'm actually shocked that he's still alive. His whole career is dead.
Yes. Andy Dick was actually arrested for assaulting someone with a deadly weapon. Andy Dick has been arrested on assaulting someone with a deadly weapon on June 26th this past week. Now, the deadly weapon, are you ready for the deadly weapon?
That's what I was waiting for.
Okay, so Los Angeles Police Department told us on Tuesday, June 29th, that a 55-year-old star was taken into custody on Saturday at the North Mansfield.
North Mansfield's that, right around the corner.
Sorry, I'm looking, my phone's blowing up here. People texting us in. He was arrested for felony assault with a deadly weapon. Andy Dick was released from jail on Tuesday, posting a $50,000 bond. Now, here's the thing. The comedian's girlfriend, Elsa Jordana, opened up about the arrest on this YouTube show called Kermit and Friends. And what she said was, yes, it's true. I've been speaking a lot about this. And what happened was he attacked, let's see.
Attack somebody with a metal chair.
Yeah. Jordana, 32, alleged that Andy Dick was arrested after assaulting a man named Lucas with a metal chair, resulting in Lucas being hospitalized in the L.A. Hospital over the weekend. Now, here's the thing. Andy Dick has been evicted from his house and living in a hostel. And so there's a lot of steps that happen there. So he's been evicted. He's living in a hostel with a bunch of other people, and then now he's been jailed. So what she's saying is, yes, he did attack this guy named Lucas with a metal chair. But you have to understand, these are warning signs, people. There's a mental stable that he has in his brain that's not working. And so she's like, defending him at the same time, but yet for the most part.
Yeah, and I mean, he's had all different kinds of eccentric behavior, drug addiction.
Well, he had a huge drug addiction, and then he got clean and sober. But the thing is, there's a trade-off. Your body needs those pheromones, those synapses to fire. So he became this weird, crazy fuck boss. Well, he was fucking everything.
Yeah, and he's also someone who needs the adulation from the fans, the adrenaline from it that he gets. And when you don't have any talent, it's hard.
Well, I mean, he's okay. He's quick-witted, but he's got this little quirkiness to him. But unfortunately, now he's in jail. And the article goes on and says, you know what, we wouldn't be surprised if the news report said he's dead. They would say, well, we knew that was going to happen eventually. You know, it's not a shocker.
That's why we started that GoFundMe for him 2 weeks ago.
Right. Now, speaking of GoFundMe, now, Dan, you had a Mercedes.
Yes, I had a Mercedes ML320 SUV. Rode beautiful.
What year?
It was 1999.
And when you said the SUV...
Yeah, that's a sport utility vehicle.
Okay,
it's like
yeah.
a station wagon.
Got that. Yeah. And what size engine, you know, Mercedes is the excellence of driving.
That had a V6 in it, but it had 12 coils in it and 12 spark plugs. So for your car to skip, you had to have 2 coils or 2 spark plugs go just in one vehicle. And it rode beautiful. Great Bose stereo system.
Now, could you work on it? Like if anything happened to it, like you could...
I went to the dealership to see about getting a tune-up, and it was $960 for a tune-up. And I talked to one of my friends that worked at Home Depot, and he goes, "What does that involve?" He goes, "They look it over and they change the spark plugs." Had 100,000 miles, and he goes, "These are the spark plugs you go buy these, come over to my house, and I'll put them in. I'll charge you $30." And he and this was a guy that came over from Cambodia. He worked at Home Depot. He had just an old milk box, wooden milk box. He had his tools in, and he grabbed the things out and took care of everything I did for $30. So
nice.
I got a $70 tune-up instead of a $900 tune-up.
Now, when I bought my first Chevy, like when I was able to buy my first truck, I bought a Chevrolet truck. I ordered it. This is a '97, and I'm taking it in for the first oil change, and I'm sitting in the dealership, and this guy comes out, and he just bought a brand new Corvette. And the Corvette guy, he's sitting there, he's like going, "All right, I'm here to pick up my Corvette. How much is the oil change?" And at the time, it was like $92. He's like, "Oh my God, $92 for a Corvette oil change?" And I'm like, "Dude, if you can afford the Corvette, you can afford the $92 oil change." At the time, this was in '97, so.
Yeah, it is crazy how prices change.
And your values change. Now, this guy right here, do you know what drifting is? Like Tokyo drifting?
I know the Tokyo Drift movie series.
Okay, so you know what they're doing. So many bad decisions in this video. Now, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video that matches with DeaconLive. And the way you do that is go to ProfitRadio.com, click on DeaconLive, and you can see the video. You can see me and Dan waving at the camera. Hi, everybody. And in this video, you're going to see so many bad decisions were made during this mind-numbing video. First things off is consider the video as a prime example not to do with a car you like or even a car you don't like. A Mercedes AMG C63. Do you know what that is?
That's one of their sedans.
Is it? Is it a fast car? Is it a great car?
Anything AMG is fast. They get high powered. So.
Oh, really? So this guy is driving around in what they call a takeover. And out there in the California area, they've got these large masses of concrete and area. They're in the middle of the mountains and stuff. And I want you to watch this video, Dan. This guy is driving around. So you can hear the engines already. It's souped up. So he's driving around, the passenger's hanging out of the passenger side window, like Dukes of Hazzard style. And he's spinning around. Now, to let you guys know, there's a group of people in the center and a bunch of cars on the outside. So it's like a donut, like you were talking about earlier. And he's burning the tires and burning the tires. Spinning around. Then the passenger gets a smart idea, opens the door, the passenger door, and look, I'm riding out. I'm cool, right? He looks cool, Dan.
Yeah.
And he stops. All right, we stopped. And then, then he tries it again. Gets a couple more people in the car. Oh, he blew a tire. That's what happened. And you can see right there, look, the tire blew. And when the tire blows, what happens? That tread flips around and...
smashed the back fender.
So the same car goes ahead and replaces that tire. Let's try it again. Now he's got two He's got two Jamooks in the back seat, out the windows, no shirts on, and they're doing it again. And
even the Dragon Man wouldn't have done that.
The Dragon Man would not do this, and now they're holding on. Spinning around, so there's 4 people in the car. Driver, passenger, 2 people in the back seat, but they're hanging out the back side windows. That looks exciting, doesn't it, Dan? Uh-oh. Something happened. Blew a tire again. So he put another tire on. What's this guy, a friggin' race team? Puts another tire on. Got another Jamook hanging up. That's the end right there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see that? What happened?
Hit that piece of pavement.
There's a crack or a divot, or a huge divot. I say divot. It's a pothole in the pavement. And he spun around and caught the side of the wheel well. I'll play it again right here. So watch it. Here's the concrete right here. Spinning around and how does it make you feel, Dan, when you see that?
That's a $68,000 car. That's what they start at. And I mean, I would guess that his parents bought that for him.
I don't know.
You know, 469 horsepower with that. That looks like
really?
broken. It looks like the rear end is broken. Either that or he just damaged that rim really bad.
Yeah. Everyone's like, oh no. They're all taking pictures now. That's expensive. That's very expensive. Yeah. Well, on that note, I'll let you guys get back to what you got to do. That's expensive. On behalf of all you guys listening to us and downloading us, we thank each and every one of you. Dan, you doing okay? You want to thank everyone?
Thank you all. I had a great time today.
I'll let you guys get back to what you got to do. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait. Come back.
The
Look at the cameras.
Écoute-moi.
Wave the cameras. Bye. I always say jazz fingers. Jazz fingers. There you go.